automobiles. 215-263-WMMR. We're going to Nancy. Hey there, Nancy.
Good morning, it.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you. What is the Sweden what's the country we're speaking of?
Sweden.
Yeah. Keep going.
Damn it.
Preston, may I speak in your defense? It's Wednesday after a brief period off, and Wednesday always hits.
What is the Sweden we're looking for?
You did that. You were like bird. What was that? When did you say bird? You called a guy bird when the answer
It
was
was
bird.
a Christmas miracle.
Miracle. Bird. And that was the answer.
Yeah.
Instead of, I think the question was, so what's the word? And Steve, somebody named Steve buzzed in. I go, bird.
No.
I'll give you one every now and then.
Yeah.
All right, you got it right, Nancy. Hang on the line. We'll get your information. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets for Jurassic Quest. Pennsylvania Convention Center, the 15th to the 23rd, over 100 life-size animatronic dinosaurs with an incredible 50-foot-long megalodon. Jurassic Quest is the world's largest, most popular dino event on tour, with unique and exciting experiences for the whole family. Previous events have sold out. Get your tickets now, JurassicQuest.com, before they go extinct.
Do you know, after the Ian Fleming books were all completed, obviously he passed away and was no longer writing James Bond, another author picked up the series and was sort of codified as the guy who would carry on with the James Bond story. In those books, Bond drove a Saab.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, and did you know when you you put the key in the car, or at least back in the day, it was always in like the console where like usually your drive.
The ignition was in the console?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wait, in the console.
Well, I don't know. What do you call that area between the driver's seat and the passenger
Interesting.
seat? Yeah.
Yeah.
The ketchup container.
Did not know that. All right, listen, I got stories, folks. We're going to start with this. Following Betty White's death at 99 years old, her hometown of Oak Park, Illinois, will celebrate Betty White Day annually on her birthday, January 17th.
It's very cool.
Very nice. As part of the memorialization, Oak Park businesses have created Betty White specials. Mickey's plans to sell a meal made up of Betty White's favorite foods, including a hot dog, fries, and Diet Coke. White had told people in 2012 that hot dogs and red vines and potato chips and French fries were some of her favorite
That's
foods.
very cool.
Toronto Bakery will be making a giant birthday cake for what would have been Betty's 100th birthday. Betty White Day will also feature a mural contest, and the winner's design will be painted downtown.
They had a little bit of a controversy because they were having this big event and they were having her family members come in and they put signs all over the place that said whites only.
Oh, no.
It was
good.
You just couldn't.
White was born in Oak Park in 1922, though her family later relocated to California. She returned to Oak Park for years after she left.
There's a nationwide push now to donate to a local pet charity on
Yeah,
her birthday as
Preston
well,
mentioned
too.
that. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do.
Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are kicking off the new year with a romantic getaway. The pair were seen boarding a private plane to the Bahamas on Monday. While Davidson previously traveled with Kardashian to Kris Jenner's estate in Palm Springs, this will mark their first vacation together. The pair spent the holidays apart. Davidson hosted New Year's Eve special with Miley Cyrus in Miami, and Kim was with her family in L.A. They've decided to reunite and start the new year with a little international travel.
So this is clearly rebound territory. This is not a substantive This is not something that's going to stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of fun, right?
Most likely.
I think so.
I think so.
I mean, he kind of grinds through them.
Yeah,
And she does as well.
She does as well. So listen, let them have their fun. I did see a picture of him over the break, and the caption of the picture, because it was somebody had posted. He goes,
Right.
I can't believe it, but I actually thought I was looking at a picture of Beetlejuice right now, and you see him, and you're like, oh my God, that's hilarious, and I bet you like. That person, it wasn't just a joke. Like, they legit thought it was like, is that Beetlejuice with Miley? And I think it was Miley Cyrus as well.
Well, they know Beetlejuice is a character, right?
Well, they're saying
Yeah.
when Beetlejuice was alive, he probably looked like what Pete Davidson looks like.
We're looking at this picture. Yeah, it's not too far off.
We only know Beetlejuice as a dead person, so
That's funny.
this is probably what he looked like.
I could see that, yeah.
I think a month or two ago, we all put down our dates as to when we thought this relationship was going to end. And Steve, believe it or not, we're coming up on yours.
Really?
Yeah, you picked 1/15. Preston, you went with the vernal equinox.
I gave it a full year, did I not?
Casey, you said June 1. Kathy was May 15. I was at the end of February. And Marissa,
Did I say Christmas
you did.
or
You said
Valentine's Day? I said
12/25,
Christmas.
yeah.
Let's keep an eye on that list. I'm
Yeah.
interested. Okay. Following Tristan Thompson's paternity results confirming that he is the father of Marilee Nichols' son, People reports that Khloe Kardashian is focusing on, quote, her own happiness.
When it comes to 19-month-old Akilah, Preston, you
Hey! How did I get thrown into this?
Congratulations.
Sure. I'm in that group now. A source told the magazine she wants the new year to be different and that she can't imagine dating right now. The source said, but her family knows that she will meet the right guy when she is ready.
Thank God I have a family.
It's hard for her family when she is upset because she starts wrecking. Yeah. The source said they love her so much. Khloe is such a strong person, though. She has already moved on after finding out that Tristan was expecting another baby.
She was playing with her train set. They showed her at home, and it's a full-size train set. The thing is that, again, I think just about everyone on Earth was saying, this guy's going to keep doing this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, why?
Yeah.
But I guess she just didn't want to listen.
On Monday, Thompson publicly apologized to Khloe, after she announced he announced the paternity results. Whatever, you know the deal.
Yeah.
On Monday, Little Miss Sunshine actress Abigail Breslin shared a photo from a trip to Las Vegas where she wore a mask while she was riding the Big Apple coaster at New York Hotel.
I've been on that coaster.
Have you? Is it any good?
It's fun. It goes in and out of the buildings.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
On Instagram, a user commented, "Who's the pathetic loser wearing the mask?" Breslin didn't hesitate to address his troll. She clapped back and said, "That pathetic loser would be me, someone who lost their dad due to someone not wearing a mask and giving him COVID. You can kindly go F off now." Breslin took to Instagram nearly a year ago to announce that her father, Michael Breslin, had passed away at 78 due to COVID-19. So she was firing right back at this idiot.
There are a couple of roller coasters in Vegas. The one on the top of the Stratosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't know.
That is a mofo.
I don't know if I'd have the balls to be outside
Yes,
on
you
that
would.
thing.
It's
1,000 feet.
It's 1,000
tall.
feet up, yeah.
Man.
They just opened that. I was doing some sort of convention. I think it was for the company Korg or some sort of radio convention out there demoing equipment, and they had just opened it up. And I was like, I never got to do it.
They also have, I think, 2 other rides in there, Steve. They have one that shoots you straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they have another one where it's like these poles, and you sit on this, you sit in a chair and these poles swing out.
Yeah.
And you're facing down.
Dude, that's
like 1,000 feet straight down. That's
heavy duty.
pretty damn terrifying.
I mean, I'm fairly ballsy, but that's at the edge of ballsiness, which is a popular soap opera.
Wonder Woman actress Gal Gadot is acknowledging that the Imagine cover she created at the start of the pandemic, quote, wasn't the right thing. I couldn't even get all the way through it.
No, I found
it didn't seem like it wasn't the right song.
It wasn't the right song.
Imagine is not about that. It's not about overcoming.
Why not release We're in the Money?
Yeah.
We're in the money. We're in the...
It's not about overcoming a pandemic.
Takes to be around. I mean, I think that's what most people had.
Sonny boy.
About Vodiodo. It just made no sense in relationship to the beginning of the COVID pandemic.
Agreed. Nearly 2 years after posting the video, which features a wide range of celebrities singing parts of John Lennon's song, Gadot said it wasn't the right timing and it wasn't the right thing. It was in poor taste, all pure intentions. I do believe that she had pure intentions.
Absolutely. I think she's a sweetheart. She appears to be.
She said, but sometimes you don't hit the bullseye, right? She said she had consulted with Kristen Wiig about the video, saying, I was like, listen, I want to do this thing.
Don't do it.
And she had told this to InStyle magazine. The pandemic was in Europe and Israel before it came to the U.S. in the same way, and I was seeing where where everything was headed, but the video was premature. And it featured people like Natalie Portman, Jimmy Fallon, Zoe Kravitz, Will Ferrell, all taking turns singing a line from the song. But she's like, wasn't a good idea. All right, got Bachelor stories.
Yeah.
Bachelor fans can't stop comparing Jesse Palmer to Chris Harrison following Palmer's debut as the new host on Monday. Us Weekly reports that one Twitter user wrote, "I'm a happily married man. Jesse Palmer quotes Chris Harrison's opening from The Bachelor Season 1. Is this a clean slate?" I don't even know what that means.
The hell does that mean?
Another user commented, "Jesse Palmer is obviously the cyborg creation of Chris Harrison, The Bachelor." So they're seeing comparisons between the two.
Listen, for a job that's fairly, by the books, he went by the books.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched that episode. I told you, I there's a cat on my lap, and I finished Wheel of Fortune and went right into The Bachelor.
Yeah, they look
normally
pretty
I'd run for the
close.
TV and change it.
Now, according to People Magazine, there's a new reality TV couple in town, and that includes Bachelorette alum Blake Hortzman and Love is Blind alum Gianna Gabelli.
Are these men or women?
So
Gianna's a girl.
Gianna's a
Okay.
girl. Blake's a man, I assume. And because if you're on The Bachelorette, you're probably
Yes, I love you.
a bachelor that is a suitor. They are dating after recently meeting. The two are taking things
So they
slow.
met first, and then they decided
Yeah,
to date.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and then they decided that they would date. So they seem really happy together. Fans have been making speculations about the pair since they shared photos with similar backgrounds.
This
on
is
social
phenomenal news.
media. Yeah, isn't it phenomenal news?
Because it gives us all hope that we too can meet people.
It's true. All right, so sometimes I have hair change stories. This morning I have, and this is courtesy of a listener, a hair not change story.
Play that backwards.
We'll need this. All right. Cher has rocked plenty of hair colors over the years, from black to blonde to auburn, but there's one shade she isn't going to try. Gray.
Really?
She said, going gray is fine for other girls. I'm just not doing it. The pop superstar at 75 opened up about her approach to beauty as part of her new campaign with MAC Cosmetics alongside the rapper Saweetie. She said, it's all about having fun. I just think
It's about attitude, honey.
that people who worry about the way someone puts on their makeup should get a life. Cher has definitely had fun with her look over the years, and she appeared to recreate one of her most iconic outfits in a new video for her MAC campaign. The singer sported a sheer beaded jumpsuit that looked similar to the one she wore at the 1974 Met Gala. And she also rocked the same curtain of smooth black hair and dramatic eye makeup. She said, I love lasting forever, she said in a tongue-in-cheek moment.
Yeah. You look at her, she's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
She's holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
She certainly had work done.
Of
but,
course.
But they all have.
All right, so listen, when a man goes gray,
Yeah.
it's distinguished and refined and all that. And when a woman, I don't mind a woman with gray hair. But my question for you is this, Steve. What if younger women, because they're dyeing their hair all sorts of different colors, what if there was a trend where they started dyeing their hair gray and silver?
If
and
it looks
and-
good?
and it looks good.
There already is.
But I'm saying more of a trend, and so that when, all right, I don't know many. You're like shrugging, but I don't
You'd
see a
like to tell
lot.
Preston that you love him.
It's been within the past 2 or 3 years that like a gray. It's actually almost like a violet, which comes across as gray.
I've
is,
seen
is
it.
a hair color,
I'm not-
and it did come across as a gray hair color.
I think it's fine.
I think it looks good.
I think it depends on if you look good in it.
Right,
You know?
right. Yeah.
I have some friends who got pregnant, in their 20s
From the
or
hair dye?
30s. Well, no. But when you are pregnant, you're not supposed to dye your hair.
That's
true.
So
Yeah,
they went
right.
full gray.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of been a trend the past couple of years.
I haven't seen it.
I don't
I
think
have
it's
not
hit.
seen gray hair on 20-year-old women.
Well, I have the magazine for you.
Okay, I want to see it.
Yeah, kind of a silver hue has been a thing for a little bit now. But anyhow, what was your question?
My question was, if you saw more of a trend of that, would it then sort of lift that stigma and allow the older women to then
To me,
go
I don't
gray?
know how
that
other
it
people
wouldn't.
think. I think possibly, like Marilyn Russell, who we started, the show with, very well. She went gray, and that looks good on her. It also depends. Some women are not, and men are not happy with the gray the hue of the gray that they end up with.
Right.
And then
You can tinker with
You
that
can
a
tinker
little
with
bit
that a little
and
bit,
make it
yeah.
a more appealing looking
Right.
gray.
Right.
Because sometimes it's salt and peppery and it doesn't quite look right. So.
I was getting gray in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
For real?
Salt and pepper. Yeah, I had that going on. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, moving on from hair. She's not going to do it. She ain't doing gray. She airs out on that.
There are bigger fish to fry in that camp.
Amy Schneider, the Jeopardy reigning champion and the trivia show's winningest woman, was robbed on Sunday in Oakland, California. Yeah. No, nothing really bad, but she works as an engineer manager and lives in the city. And she said in a tweet that she was fine after the altercation, but she had been robbed of her identification, credit cards, and cell phone. On Sunday, it happened shortly after 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Two people, one of them armed, approached the victim and demanded the victim's property, according to the police. The incident occurred in the Adams Point neighborhood near the city's downtown. Police said the victim complied and the individuals ran off with the victim's personal belongings. No arrests have been made and the investigation is ongoing. In the episode that aired yesterday, she had notched her 25th victory after answering a final Jeopardy question about the origin of the word circus. And I have to point this out. So me and Casey and Nick will text each other from time to time. And when the category comes up, we'll text each other the category, and you try to answer
Just based on the category.
just on the category,
Yeah.
not on the clue. So last night, the clue, the question or the category was word origins, and the first word that popped into my mind, I don't know why, was Piccadilly. So I
Yeah.
just put Piccadilly in there. Nick, you had said what?
Laser.
Laser.
Yeah.
Casey,
I
you
was
were,
not
you were
part
too
of
late
it.
to get there. And then the answer comes back, and it was circus.
Piccadilly Circus.
Piccadilly Circus. That's close enough, man.
That's impressive.
I also got two answers right that none of them got
Yeah, me
right.
too.
None of them
Wow.
got circus, and I got that.
Yeah.
You got circus?
Yes.
I did not get circus, but I did get anti-rejection
Yes.
Yes.
and Molly Brown.
Jay,
Yes!
in the middle. Yeah, I got Molly Brown too. Yeah,
Nice.
I would have won last night. I probably would have beat.
Yeah, you probably would have. Yeah.
She is.
She's on fire.
She's on fire. But you see what happens after a while. There are a couple guys, you'll see them. You know, the contestants come up, and you're thinking, okay, do they have the chops? It's also the hunting for the daily doubles that really figures prominently in these huge cash victories.
I thought the older guy that was on there was going to have
Had a shot,
at it,
yeah.
because he took her into the red
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah, he started strong.
Yeah,
And then he
but-
fell to crap.
And then she took off. By the way, her winnings have amounted to $918,000
Yep.
so far. Schneider, who last year became the first transgender contestant to make it to the show's Tournament of Champions, has earned a loyal fan base that regularly turns to her Twitter account for recaps of the episodes, which are filmed months in advance when they air. And she said after the robbery, she had trouble sleeping and had been occupied trying to replace the belongings that she lost. So she said it may take a bit to catch up with the recaps, but thanks for your patience. The show said in a statement, we're deeply saddened to hear about this incident and reached out to Amy privately to offer our help in any capacity.
What do you think it's likely that the show hired people to rob the money back a little bit?
Because they're losing their cash.
Now we're getting scared.
Well, they just got her credit card,
Yeah,
so I don't think that was them. The New York Post reports that due to the COVID-19 Omicron variant, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association announced that no press or celebrities will be invited to the 2022 Golden Globes this year.
This is really going to ruin it.
The awards ceremony will also take place without an audience. The announcement comes just days before the scheduled air date of January 9th. So that's
Coming right up on it. That's quick, man.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
And then the SAG Awards should be coming up soon as well, which means, as SAG members, we end up getting those. It's not as
It
good
lost
anymore.
its luster
It
now
did.
because everything is released to video or home viewing immediately.
Yeah, we used to get these screening DVDs of movies that were still in theaters.
And man, do we think we were cool.
We did.
Yeah.
We thought we were pretty cool.
No more.
And then we got put in our place again.
Maybe they should just send us money now.
I'd be okay with that. Despite being overserved while hosting CNN's New Year's Eve alongside Anderson Cooper, it appears that Andy Cohen will return for this year's New Year's Eve broadcast. Yes.
All right.
Well, look at all the the news. He said controversial things. He's a very likable host.
Yeah, so a spokesperson for CNN commented and said, Andy said something he shouldn't have live on TV. We've addressed it with him, and we look forward to having him back again next year. So we will see how that goes. E-News reports that Seth Meyers has tested positive for COVID-19. On a tweet shared yesterday, he wrote, bad news is test positive for COVID. Good news is I feel fine thanks to vaccines and the booster, but we're canceling the rest of the shows this week. Now, also, it's reported that Jimmy Fallon tested positive for COVID-19 over the holidays. He posted to Instagram on Monday saying, "Hey guys, on the first day of our holiday break, tested positive for COVID. I was vaccinated and boosted, which made me lucky enough to only have mild symptoms. Thank you to the doctors and nurses who work so hard around the clock to get everyone vaxxed." And he shared that his daughter's tested positive as well. And one last thing, Joe Exotic will be resentenced on the 28th and is likely to receive less time for his crimes. The judge, Scott Polk, scheduled the resentencing for 10 a.m. and approved the defendant's request to be transported to Oklahoma City for the hearing.
Justice will finally be served.
Attorneys for Joe Exotic, whose real name, of course, is Joseph Maladano Passage, said last month the former Oklahoma zookeeper was postponing his cancer treatment until after his resentencing. In November, Passage announced that he had prostate cancer and was transferred to a federal medical center in North Carolina from a federal medical center in Fort Worth, Texas.
Do we know his level of his status,
His
I should
advancement
say?
into the cancer? No, I haven't seen anything about that. I just know that he has stated and his lawyer has stated that it's bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I watched a bit of that second series and then kind of just checked out. It didn't
have the same
It
thing?
lost the magic.
Yeah, that's too bad. All right, I think we're ready for clips. The lives of several troubled high schoolers continue.
Uh-oh.
Almost spilled my coffee. On the board. Okay.
Sweden.
The lives of several. I was thinking the same thing. Troubled high schoolers continue to unravel in euphoria here. Sydney Sweeney talks about her acting process on the show and how she deals with wrapping up the production. Here we go.
I lose myself in the characters that I play. So, like right now, we've been wrapped from Euphoria Season 2 for about a week now, and I've been going through this very strange depression. I kind of feel like after you have a kid, and some women have like postpartum depression, I kind of feel that after I wrap a character.
Euphoria Season 2 premieres on HBO January 9th. Here's the next clip. Comics' favorite couple continue their adventures for the television audience in Superman and Lois. In this couple, Tyler Hoechlin talks about how he approached playing the Man of Steel.
I definitely stayed away. I wasn't familiar, and once I knew it was happening, just for me, it's easier to come to work every day and just kind of act on instinct and go with it, as opposed to feeling like you're going to be too close to what somebody did or, trying to stay away. It's just much easier to just come in and naturally let it happen.
Anyway.
Season 2 of Superman and Lois premieres on the CW January 11th.
It's a good show.
He said he was unfamiliar with it, though?
I think he meant watching other actors play Superman, because I was a little confused by that too. I'm assuming that's what he meant.
That's probably it.
So
I don't know how that could elude you.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, this guy can fly?
Yeah.
What's that all about? All right. So that's the entertainment report. We have a secret text word, and we're giving away WWE Monday Night Raw tickets, which is Monday at the Wells Fargo Center. So text word secret to 39333. We'll throw in a digital copy of Clifford the Big Red Dog. And speaking of WWE, we're going to have wrestler Damian Priest on. To talk about Monday Night Raw, and we'll do that around 9 o'clock this morning. Let's take a break, come back in just a moment, awaiting the arrival of the sun on this Wednesday. Maybe we'll see it. We got lots of clouds today. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
We'll never.
Don't discuss.
Ever agree on ever.
And that's not a hole in the relationship.
Right.
That's just smart. You just don't agree on some things. That's totally fine. If it's an agitation, there's an entire rest of your lives to live. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what, my wife and I
whether Hulk could beat Hulkbuster.
I don't think we'll ever agree on is which way the toilet paper goes on the roll.
Yeah.
And
or whether or not you should use it.
No. We both agree that you should use it, but I put toilet paper on the right way and she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Top down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes over.
Does it matter? It does matter to you guys?
No,
And you know what? Consider this.
No,
You're balling it up and jamming it in your butt.
It comes off of the toilet paper roll easier.
There
For
you
some
go.
perspective,
There you go.
Mr. Morrison.
Aesthetically.
By the way, did you guys see my notes in the bathroom this morning?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, is it still out of toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that
Dude, it
the
was
other
out of
day.
toilet paper yesterday.
Did you do that last week?
No.
Because
I did
someone
it this
someone
morning.
had the courtesy
Yeah.
to put up on the door.
Yeah.
Out of TP, so I went to another bathroom.
Can you fill me in here?
I saw that. So we were out of toilet paper, and
In the men's room?
In the men's room. So this morning I went in there and I did my business. It was a flashback to Casey when you caught me with my pants down in there.
Did you have to move stalls?
I did. I moved over to the second stall, and Kathy was out in the second stall.
Did you have to use regular?
Fortunately, it wasn't so messy that I could pull my underwear
use your
up.
shirt.
And I walked in. I used my shirt.
You just sit over the sink?
No, I got some paper
Ass
towels.
gaskets. Oh,
Paper towels.
You had to use paper towels?
Yeah, but I
wet them.
I moistened them, so it didn't rip.
The
my
man played
butt.
it right.
And so anyhow, so what I did after that is I happened to have my highlighter on me.
You put that in your butt?
No.
What is that?
I got 2 pieces of paper towel, and I wrote no PTP.
Yeah.
And set it over the toilet paper dispenser.
Awesome. Because if you go in and you see that, and you don't want someone to replicate your horrible situation, someone
Fortunately-
actually stuck a note on the door going in last week, and I appreciate them doing that.
Fortunately, everything was a clean movement this morning. It wasn't mushy.
It was like a good cellist, Preston, has a clean movement.
Yeah.
So anyhow, not every argument has a resolution.
Exactly. Getting back to the core issue.
When you start to hit these sub-freezing temperatures, anything below 32 degrees, and then when you get down into teens and the freezing happens even faster, there's all kinds of things that you can do with the weather, believe
You can
it or
play
not.
with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
So one of the downside is, of course, the needless loss of life. The plus side is you can do stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided we'd try an experiment or two while we have these conditions.
So what's the boiling water thing?
It is very cool.
So here's what you do, and this is a few years ago. This little thing started to happen and pop up. If you take a pot of boiling water, when the temperature gets well below freezing, if you go outside, Kathy, and you throw it up in the air, it turns into snow. Like immediately.
But,
Why boiling water and not cold water? Yeah.
Because it gets out. I guess because of the
change.
heat shift. Can we get our physicist back on the line?
I don't know.
right?
I'm not sure. I didn't research it, to be honest, but there's a reason for it. So.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other day of a guy in Minnesota, and I think it was below zero where he was, and he had peed outside, and there was steam coming out.
Yes, that does happen.
Like just flat
In
out.
fact, maybe we'll have Nick take a dump and see what happens.
I don't know. Nick, you got one cooking?
Yeah, man. I'll do whatever you guys want.
Really?
Nick looks very uncomfortable. But Nick, do we have? Should we just right out of the gate do the hot water?
I'm going to take the lid off. Max, you're going to toss it. Try not to toss it in my face. Okay.
No, wait, Nick. Before you do it, I would step away from Callie and step away a further. Step out to the lot.
Yeah, all right. So Max is going to throw it into the lot, but I'll take the lid off because Max has both hands on the pot itself. Boiling water. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready, man.
Makes sense.
All right,
Watch the video. Nick is going to give the description.
2, 1. Here we go. Took the lid off. Max tosses it in there. Oh my God! Now, not all of it turned into snow, but a decent amount of it did. Also, a decent amount immediately turned into steam.
And it's so windy that it went 50 yards away in the blink of an eye.
It was down the parking lot. Though
gone.
We did get instant snow. But the wind is whipping so much that by the time Nick was done talking, it was already half a parking lot away.
It was gone.
Two things also happened. Max's foot was burnt, and the pot of water is now empty.
Oh.
Thanks.
All right, so let's see Callie's hair now. I don't want her to weld to the.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they poured more water on it, Steve.
Well, we don't want her to freeze to the thing, right?
She's still not laying down.
At this point, I'll take it.
Well,
anything.
Yeah, I mean, her hair is frozen solid, guys.
All right.
It's not sticking up like we saw in some of those hot tub photos.
Yeah.
Where people, but I mean, like it's coated with hairspray and it is completely frozen solid.
All right, because she's got very thick
yeah.
hair, so to get that sucker to freeze up the way we want it to would be a lot of work. But you can see the tips; it looks like icicles.
Wow. Okay, so we've learned that water
freezes in cold.
Freezes in cold temperatures.
Yeah.
All right.
And that if someone's hair is wet with that same type of water, it will freeze in cold temperatures. Then we're looking at Callie here. I just don't want her to freeze to make sure she moves a little bit.
Yeah, we can. How long has she been out there? Anybody know?
She's going to look like Wendy O. Williams. What was that?
About 5 minutes.
The punk rocker?
Yeah, about 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Can she move her head so we can see if it's frozen?
There we go.
Yeah, all right, we have frozen hair.
Yeah.
It's sticking straight out.
No, that's cool. We got it.
All right.
It actually looks like, what does that look? It looks like the when Maleficent turned the forest dead.
Yes. Oh, like all those branches.
Tree
and
branches,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that. Bill calling us?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill's calling us.
Bill's not wearing gloves.
Hang on, let me go to him.
Did he come in on his motorcycle?
No, he is. He just took one glove.
Why does he have a chafing dish?
There's no way he came in on his motorcycle. Bill Weston, Man About Town, are you there?
Good morning, my warm southern friend.
Hey. So, first of all, what do you have in the crook of your arm there? Are those peppermints?
They're peppermints that my wife went to like Costco and got like the 30-gallon size.
Yeah.
Realized that she only needed a dozen for her candy dish. And she said, well, why don't you take the rest into work? I said, that's really economically wise.
All right, fair enough. And so what did you want to, you wanted to jump in on this frozen hair thing, I guess, huh?
Well, first I see an intern out here freezing her tail off and with no hat on.
Yeah.
You know, your mother always said, don't leave the house without your hat and gloves.
Yeah.
And zip up your coat. And so I said, I hope you get extra credit for your internship program for this. She says, no, there's no credit for this. So, Marissa, we need to have a little chat.
Well, Bill, can you just actually go over and just have her raise her head? Because I think her hair's probably properly frozen now.
Yeah, let's check on the hair.
Hold on just a second.
All right.
All right.
We just don't want her to freeze to this building.
Oh, yeah. We've got some nice...
All right, that's cool.
That's it.
She's good.
It's frozen solid.
Have her come in.
And it's rigid. It's sticking straight out.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, how long are your pubes?
Oh, jeez.
That's my second question. When Casey asked if they were gray.
Casey asked if they were gray.
Hey, Bill, you can tell her to come in, Bill.
Yeah, you guys can come in. We want to see this.
Hold on, Marissa has something. Marissa?
Just want to say this is Callie's last week, so this is like her last
there you go. We love Callie.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't want to get me in trouble.
All right, Bill, you and Callie can come inside. A Volvo that was owned by David Bowie was auctioned off for approximately $218,000 in Switzerland. His Volvo 262C was one of the last of that line produced in 1981, and it was delivered to his Swiss home in June of that year. The car was initially registered under Bowie's own name, David Robert Jones, before transferring over to the record company Bellway Brothers.
This is the beginning of Philly Loves Bowie Week is today.
Can you do a commercial for the Chili Dogs place?
No, that was Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella. Yeah. Pat's Chili Dogs.
Chili Dogs.
Ground control to chili dogs. Hi, I'm David Bowie with a passionate message about any fan who loves a good chili dog.
How'd you get Bowie to do this?
Well, he was in town.
Well, look who it is.
Yeah, hi. Bing, I'm here to tell you about the best chili dog I've ever had.
Sounds great. Do tell.
It's Pat's Chili Dogs.
How did they get him in the first place?
If you like a chili dog, bum.
Where is it?
I don't know. But anyhow, he definitely
Do you like a good chili dog?
he definitely owned a Volvo, and that's.
Oh no, I've got chili all over my Volvo.
Pat's Chili Dogs is a We Buy Gold place now.
Oh, is that what it is now? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyhow, David Bowie.
Do you have extra gold you'd like to make some money off of?
All right, and then finally, what?
What?
Oh, there you go.
I am David Bowie. I just had an otherworldly experience. As Major Tom, I took you into space, but now it's time to explore your belly. I'm introducing my new character, Ziggy Chili Dog.
Did he have Diamond Dogs?
Chili Dogs.
Wasn't that what his album was? Diamond Dogs?
Was
This
it?
new one's called Chili Dogs.
How bizarre would it be just out of nowhere?
He just becomes enamored of chili dogs.
That he is all of a sudden he is a proponent of the. Chili dog. Oh, this is Diamond Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Dogs.
Yeah. Did you guys hear the news that Khloe Kardashian is pregnant? You may have heard that, right?
Yeah. She was on Ellen, right?
She made the announcement, of course, a little while back. She may be head over heels in love with her boyfriend, NBA star Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, head over heels.
But the revenge body star has no desire to get hitched anytime soon. She told Ellen DeGeneres in the first TV interview since announcing the pregnancy that we're not in any rush for that.
We're in no rush to get married.
She added, as you know, I've rushed quite a few things before.
And I've made some mistakes, and I regret those mistakes.
Referencing her marriage to Lamar Odom after knowing him for 30 days. I forgot
wow.
that's how quickly that happened, yeah.
It was just 30 days.
Oh, my God. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
She does look like a
It looks
giant.
it looks like a scene from Pacific Rim.
And
She's a
listen,
kaiju.
not fat.
No.
She's just a tall person.
I love you, Ellen.
Do they have her stats on Wiki, like how tall she is?
6'9".
So, Nick, type in how tall is...
I think she's 5'11".
But like, even in their
Khloe
family
Kardashian.
pictures, I don't think she's towering over the rest of them.
No, she's bigger.
I don't know how tall...
Because OJ's her father.
Ellen is either.
She's 5'10".
5'10".
There we
That
go.
would make Ellen like 3'11".
Yeah, because that's how tall my wife is. She's 5'10".
Yeah, that's not like
5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that range.
bare range.
But I think the other ones are just, everybody else is just tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah. So anyhow, as you know, she said I rushed into quite a few things before. Right now, I'm so loving the place I'm in and very happy with how things are. We talk about it for sure. What's meant to be will be.
I just love spending time now foraging through garbage cans. It's really a zen thing for me. Ellen.
Kardashian adds that she knows her 26-year-old beau is a good dad after watching him parent his 1-year-old son, Prince, in a previous relationship.
Okay. That's the tip-off.
She said, he's such a good dad. He's so great just during pregnancy, and he makes me more excited, too. I'm excited. That's unbelievable that he has we had mentioned in the news this traffic jam that was around the D.C. area. It was in Virginia.
Yes.
It was like 41 miles long. And people were stuck in their cars for over 24 hours.
You know, the Senator Tim Kaine was in that.
Yeah. That's right. I heard an audio clip from him. I think he was taking video or something
for like
that.
17, 18 hours.
Yeah.
So
and then he went to work.
Yeah.
When he finally got to D.C., he was like, I'm not going to go home. I'm going to go to work.
No one got away from it.
Yeah. So people, there was a jackknife tractor trailer. And that was the beginning of the end. It was after all that snow had hit. And people were stuck there for a long time. So we were chatting briefly in the news about things that you keep in your car.
Right.
And so I had a story that is a list of that the American Red Cross says that you should have.
So I think this is good. And honestly, the worst thing is I should have just taken the time to do it, and you end up in the situation where you're like, you beat yourself up because you don't have these things.
Right.
If you, prior to going into snow season, the best thing, I call it a win if I prepare for something, for a bad situation and I never need to use it. That's a win.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But to have something like this is probably a smart idea.
Yeah, and I will usually kind of assess as the seasons come around and go, okay, it's time to equip. Because sometimes it's just taking up space, and I'll take the blankets out and stuff like that. But
you always keep the condoms in there, though. Even with the vasectomy.
I used to keep those in my golf bag when I was a single man. But so the American Red Cross says first you should have an emergency kit stashed in your car with things like blankets, flashlights, non-perishable foods, liquids, and extra batteries. So it doesn't mention specifics like non-perishable foods.
Well, probably is specifically what it's referencing is Twix and Kit Kat bars.
That's
what I have.
Yeah, right.
I used to keep beef jerky.
Yeah.
Like in like a sealed packet because I
Protein
figured
bars.
that would stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all those things do eventually have a shelf life on them. But I don't know if you keep
raw chicken,
chips or crackers or something like that.
I immediately started thinking about those sticks where the cheese is on the side. So if you just peel that back,
like a snackable.
Yeah, because I would want some
Right.
kind of dippy if I was stuck in traffic for a long time.
Yeah, the stuff that you have to prepare. If you could have like a cheese fountain,
A fondue.
Yeah, exactly. I need an activity with my food.
So I know what you're talking about, like the sealed cheese stick or
Right.
something like that. That doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Yep.
Because you'll see those sometimes.
Gravy.
They come with a meat and a stick as well.
Yeah, jerky's completely fine. If you're, I'm not a big jerky fan. What do they say about pimentos?
They're very anti-pimento.
Those are pits.
Yep.
I have one of those emergency blankets and sometimes they hand
Do
those
they
out.
work? The
They, I was so surprised at how well they work.
The foil blanket?
Yeah,
Does
foil
it?
blanket.
Okay.
Is it warm?
I
it
was
works.
curious about that because I have them too.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if anybody's ever actually used those.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it would be warm.
Well,
that's why I've refrained from getting one.
Yeah, the first time I used one was when I fell and broke my ankle when I was crossing that stream in Colorado a couple of years ago. And But the emergency service, I had one in my pack, so my brother took it out, and then when the emergency services people got there, they had some stuff to keep me warmer than that. But
He didn't
I was
stuff you in a tauntaun?
No, no, and those things smell bad on the
Yeah, they
outside.
do.
But I was in a cold creek pre-dawn, and it looks like a thin sheet of foil, and it kept me warm. You know,
Okay.
so they absolutely work.
So, okay.
I actually have one.
I'm fascinated by this. Does it have a metallic feel to it?
No, like it doesn't feel like you're putting tin foil on you.
All right.
It feels like you're putting a thin. It's like a space age polymer.
Okay.
You know, like it's just
All
it's
right.
kind of it's very light.
Does it sound all crinkly?
Not really.
Wow, because it
No.
seems like it would be a.
It looks like it would, you're putting tin foil on.
It's like what C-3PO sleeps in.
Okay.
But okay, so good. So I'm going to get one of those.
And so
then.
because of how well it worked the one time, or, the 2 times I've used it or whatever, I have one of those in my car just in case.
Hey, I have a question. Okay, and this concerns survival. And I told you guys I wanted
Right.
to ask this question on the air. I was watching a show. I forgot what the name of the show was. Anyhow, they one of the main characters is a Navy SEAL, and he's got this.
Is it The Bachelor?
No, it's not The Bachelor.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And so he has one of those nylon rope bracelets.
Yes.
Which you're supposed to be able to use in an emergency. You take it off if you need a rope, you
That's
need
what we've
a
heard.
tourniquet or something like
Yeah.
that. You can undo this and then use it to tie something down or to for whatever an emergency. And I used to wear one because I'm like, hey, this is a great idea. You never know. It might be an emergency. You need this type of thing. And then I stopped wearing it because I never had an emergency.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But I'm wondering if anybody listening has ever actually used one of those things.
For that purpose.
For that purpose.
Yes.
I thought those-
Or if you've used the blanket like Nick had to do as well.
I thought
215-263 WMMR. What's that?
I thought those bracelets were just a trend. I never knew that they served an actual
Yeah, there's a
purpose.
function. There's a function
Oh.
to that. Like I would imagine hunters probably wear them. People who are going out in the woods, campers and hikers would as well. So I'm curious if anybody has ever actually had to use one of those. Here's a text that says, as a runner, the foil blankets are so warm. Best thing to have after a race when it's chilly or cold out. Wow, so
All right.
they'll reuse those?
Yeah, well, I
They
see
seem
them
kind of disposable to me.
For Jiffy Pop.
Right.
Yeah.
They hand them out to like marathoners
No
when
kidding.
they're done. Yeah. And by the way, I have this Slapshot beef jerky, and I just wanted to look at the date. So this one right here is Best Buy 2023.
No
So,
kidding.
Yeah, so that is, another year from now, and we got this last year.
Okay.
And then,
All right.
so that's the beef jerky, and then I have essentially what it looks like a Slim Jim. They have these broken stick jerky sticks.
Yeah.
And that's it's I guess
It's got some duration on it.
well, a little bit less than the actual jerky itself, but
Do you know what I did? I have some like a small canister of what they classically call prepper food. That is, I bought that I would like parse out. I could put in the car. I haven't done that, but
Right.
I should.
Yeah,
It'd
you
be
should.
totally fine.
Yeah.
And that stuff will last for like 80 years.
Somebody texted in and said, like, peanut butter, those little individual wrapped,
Oh, yeah.
sealed, single
Right.
servings.
Stuff you don't have to cook.
Put a few of those in there.
I
as
know
well.
Marissa wants to do some light cooking.
That could work. So anyhow, they also recommend, this is according to the Red Cross, not only should you have an emergency kit with blankets, flashlight, non-perishable food items, liquids, and extra batteries, but if you're caught in snow and shelter or help isn't visible within 100 yards, they said you should stay inside your vehicle. If possible, put a brightly colored cloth out your window or tie to your antenna to indicate distress. Now, this is if you're alone.
Yes,
not if you're surrounded by thousands
people will know
of
you're in
people.
distress if you're in a 5-mile like car accident.
Right, but if you're, if you're in like that backup that they had in Virginia, you'll be okay. You don't have to put that stuff outside your window. In cold temperatures, this is important. Run the vehicle for no more than 10 minutes every hour to heat the cabin. That, of course, is going to save your fuel because if you're there for a day or more, you're going to run out of gas pretty damn quick. So you run it for 10 minutes, crank the heat way up, and then shut it off, and then kind of keep what heat can stay inside for a while.
My wife was asking the question, and it seemed like a valid question, especially with this recent incident on the interstate. Would you, at that point, when you're in that group, do you get together with other people and all get in a car?
You could do
for
that.
Body heat.
Use the body
and
heat.
then run the car.
Yeah, they recommend that you huddle together if you're with someone else in the vehicle.
I was stuck in there was an accident on Route 1, the bypass, going up to the Grand River Mall, and at that time, I mean, we weren't moving. I had like negative gas in my car, so I literally pulled over to the side of the road. I got out of my car and I left, and because I was like, I parked the car, I got out, I walked off of the highway, like through somebody's backyard, up to a street, and I had somebody pick me
back there?
and somebody picked me up. But I'm wondering for those people, how many of those actually abandon their cars? Or like, you know what, I can actually walk to I can walk off of this highway right now and pick up a ride or something.
Yeah. I wonder what people with electric cars have to do in situations like this. You know, like how long does that charge last? And
especially when it gets colder.
Yeah. And is it any better or any worse than a gas car?
Well, here's the deal. Like apparently newer electric cars have a secondary heating system that keeps the battery's ability to retain its charge much more intact. In the initial stages of, like the Tesla, in the winter, it would not be uncommon for the battery to lose the ability. Basically, like having a gas car in the winter, you could only fill it up 75, 80%, your tank. But the issue was the cold would make the battery lose its charge. Right. And now they have a system that sort of stops that.
That's interesting because you need something to power that system, too.
Yeah, but
I'm sure they figured it out.
You hope they did.
I don't know anything about this, but I was with Pierre after the Killer show, and his car wouldn't start, but we could start it and charge our phones.
Why wouldn't his car start?
Because it's Pierre, and who knows what happened. Something wasn't upgraded. But so they were running on two systems, so you could still charge your phone and run the heat and the radio and things.
By the way, speaking of running the heat, I remember when I was a kid and on cold winter mornings, like before school or whatever, I would go out and to warm up the car, I would start it up and then just gun the engine while it was in park.
Oh, yeah.
Do anything. Trying to heat it. Doesn't do anything.
It'll heat it up faster.
That's what he said.
Once it sets on fire, it'll be toasty.
Heat it up faster. Hang on, a couple of calls with the foil blankets. I'm going to go to Dan. Hi, Dan. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Good morning. Love you guys.
Thanks, man. So you've used these foil blankets?
Yeah, man. So they definitely work. But here's the thing. They can work too well because the heat from your body radiates off of the top of the blanket and down onto you. So what I was doing, I've been on a couple backpacking trips with a group of my friends. And I was on the Loyalsock Trail in the Poconos in, like, the fall. So it was freezing cold. And so at night, I wrap myself, like, from head to toe in those things, probably like 5 or 6 of those blankets. I wrap myself like them right on my body and then stuffed myself into like a mummy sleeping bag.
Right.
For like negative temperature. So I had those foil blankets inside the sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And what happened was I ended up sweating all night. And I woke up soaking wet.
Oh, wow.
Freezing cold.
Yeah.
So you're saying
you didn't need the foil blankets.
It's your own body heat that radiates against this blanket and then raises the heat. Could you have conceivably, without the sleeping bag, just slept wrapped up in the blanket?
Yeah, but the ground would be really cold, so I guess I would lay on top of the sleeping bag. But
Okay.
Those blankets are good for outside of the sleeping bag. So
Okay.
It actually can be kind of dangerous because like I said, I woke up soaking wet, and it was like probably in the 30s.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Right.
You want to watch
Thanks,
it? I'm stopping wet.
Yeah, like, material, cotton, and even some other materials will breathe. You get some air in and out of there. But that stuff, nothing's getting out. And so it's all, it's like a little oven.
Little oven.
You're a little baked
Yeah,
potato.
put some stuffing in there.
yeah.
It's really nice. You
Sour
have a
cream.
perfect meal for the bear that'll eventually eat you.
I'm going to go to Christine. Hi, Christine. Good morning.
Hey, Preston and Steve, how you doing?
Doing well.
Wonderful, sunshine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So I live in Michigan, and I have used the foil before.
Okay.
We went winter camping in college, and the people we were with forgot the tent.
Going camping.
I mean,
Anything
I
that
can't put my finger on it, but there's something I was supposed to break.
Wait, don't we have to go outside to do this?
Step one.
Yeah, we hiked back a couple of miles at dusk, but they brought the cube of beer, so.
All right,
There you go.
Priorities.
Okay.
So we dug down in the snow and put down some pine branches and had our emergency blanket and our really good sleeping bags, and it worked wonderfully.
Nobody decided maybe we should go home after forgetting the tent?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, so you did the foil blanket inside the sleeping bag, and you didn't have any problems.
No, it was outside the sleeping bag.
Okay, so to me, okay, so obviously you don't take the opportunity of a car wreck or being stuck on an interstate. Hey, now I can go camping.
Yeah.
So you're going to stay in the vehicle. So that blanket alone should be enough to keep you warm in very, very cold temperatures, correct?
It definitely will.
All right, I'm getting one, damn it.
All right.
I've always looked at them, Preston, and I've always thought,
Thank you,
no, there's no
Christine.
way. It's going to feel cold.
Yeah, yeah. Does anybody have one?
Yeah, it's in
their
my car right now.
You do, really?
Yeah. You want me to go get it?
Could we try it out?
Could you?
Yeah.
Because I was just popping on Amazon because I've always been right at the point of pushing it, and I go, no, there's no way. There's no way.
They're cheap, right?
Can you
Yeah.
reuse them?
You can get them at REI. Yeah, you can reuse them. And when you buy them at REI, Steve, they come in. They're actually like really small packaging, so you can buy more than one.
That's one of the attractions of them.
Yeah.
And when they give them to the runners at marathons, they have them logoed too. So like they're giveaway items.
Really?
Yeah. Should we do that for Preston
And you
Steve?
could use them like to get a suntan too, right? Like, you know how they have a reflective thing. You remember
so.
you can hold it under your chin?
Why let the whole disaster go to waste?
Has anyone mentioned like you get them at airports? Like
No,
if you're
why?
on I feel like they keep them on hand in case people get stuck at an airport. They'll
Okay.
give them to people who are stuck overnight and so that they can
How
sleep in
exciting.
the terminals.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
seen
I've
them
never
there.
seen that. Let me go to Austin talking about the bracelet, the cord bracelet. Hi, Austin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, so I had a similar bracelet. It's sort of like Indiana Jones. It's like a whip, but it clasps onto your wrist,
Okay.
and you can use it to kind of grab things, under like rocks or anything. If you got something lost or
Wait,
whatever.
use it to grab things. I don't. What? It's like a lasso.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Like, I've never seen this.
No, I haven't either.
So the thing, like the band you're talking about, Preston, is more sort of to bind things to.
Yeah, it's a woven. A nylon cord.
How big is this? When you're wearing it, how big is it?
You can have it go over itself, but you can have it kind of go up your arm.
Huh.
So it's not that bad.
I would just tuck a ladder into my pants. Preston.
Interesting. All right, never heard of that. What's it called, Austin?
I can't remember. I think it was like the lasso arm or something. I can't remember. I can look it up. But it was
Lasso arm.
The lasso
It wasn't
arm.
that difficult.
It's like Casey's hidden fist.
I'm Harrison Ford. You might remember me from the Indiana Jones films.
Wow.
I've invented lasso arm.
Thank you.
When you need to reach things that are under a rock or perhaps behind a tree, lasso arm is invaluable.
All right, now listen. We go way off the rails,
Right,
right?
yeah, we do.
Okay, so I have a question about it, and lasso arm made me think of this. Okay,
Baby wheel?
no, not baby wheel. Those like senior citizen grabber things?
Yeah, we talked about them.
It's like a stick with a claw on the
My dad
end of
has
it.
one.
Do they make them like really long for Christmas lights?
Oh,
and
that's a
things
good
like
question.
That?
His has a little bit of an extension on it, but it's just.
I mean, like 20 feet long.
Structurally, they start to
I don't think
become
they
they're
can.
not viable.
Yeah, because
You'd have to brace another robot arm under it.
I have a pole with a little like U-shaped thing on the end of it that I try to use for the Christmas lights. But I'm like, man, if I had something with a grabber on the end of it, it would be so much better.
I'm looking for it right now.
I was going to recommend one of those things that they use at like stores when they have shirts hanging really high, but that's what sounds like you have.
And it's similar to that, but I need something that's got a closing mechanism.
All right, so like they have on Amazon the Unger Professional Rugged Reacher Heavy Duty Grabber Tool for outdoor cleaning and trash pickup. Now it is 42.5 inches.
How many feet is that?
So you're looking
almost
at
4 feet.
4 feet.
All right,
is that enough?
Not really, but it's better than the 2-foot one that you sometimes get. So, all right, anyhow. I digress. I'll go back to the subject at hand.
I've seen ones that have like a rope, like a pulley system.
I know what you're talking about. Like tree surgeons will use things like that.
Yes,
so maybe that's something to look at. By the way, there's another text about the bracelet. It says the bracelet is called the Savior bracelet, and I have used mine once. Had to use it on my boyfriend's motorcycle when the kickstand broke and was dragging on the ground. And I used it to hold the stand up when we got home, which was about 60 miles. And I still wear it every day. So that's what that's for. Not just life-saving stuff, but, in case you need a last-minute adjustment on something, you have that bracelet. All right.
Casey brought back the blanket.
Casey has the foil blanket.
So tiny.
You don't mind me opening this up? Because this is going to be a bitch to get back in.
I'll replace it for you, Casey.
I'm not putting it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever opens it has to put it back in.
So we were talking about the big car parking lot that ended up in Virginia for 24 hours. Yeah, see this? It's got that. You can hear it.
What does it feel like?
It feels. You know what it feels like? When you are creating a gift bag for someone, and sometimes they have that
Mylar
paper. Yeah, it feels like Mylar.
Okay.
I'll bet you this is Mylar.
It's probably Mylar.
Casey, no, there isn't. It's not labeled. I'll bet you that's what this is. Mylar.
Damn Mylar.
It's always Mylar.
Well, look how it unfolds, though. It's getting pretty big.
Yeah,
keep stroking it.
It's hard to. It's hard to open it up. If your fingers were cold, this might be kind of hard to do. But
do they have? Okay, so we're looking at the pack. You can get a pack of, holy crap.
And it is Mylar.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you hear that, Pop? It's Mylar. All right,
like
Jesus,
that.
that's a bitch.
Yeah.
But
It's all stuck together.
do you sense warmth?
Not yet.
After a run, that's what the whole city sounds like.
God.
Just people walking around with those
All right,
things.
almost there. All right,
Okay.
here we go.
All right.
One more.
It's a space age Polar, remember?
Big, man.
Oh, that is big.
Yeah, it is big.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Wrap yourself in it.
Wrapped up in this, and I'll do the rest of the show. You hear crinkling noise. Now, it's not. Yeah, dude, I immediately.
Are you kidding? Can I try?
Feel some warmth from this. Yes.
Yeah.
Automatically. It's
That's
not
crazy.
As big as this seems. I wonder if it would be better to do it like this.
Do you want me to take it in a little bit?
You're going to hem it?
Yeah.
Take it over to Steve.
Let me get a blowtorch.
I would do it.
Here, I'll drape it on.
Drape it around.
Like he's the
like he's James Brown, about ready to come back on stage.
Feel good.
And then kind of close it up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Don't you feel that
my
automatically?
God.
Isn't that
Yes.
wild?
Pretty
Yes.
cool.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a comfortable blanket where you're like, ooh, this is, nice
cozy.
against my skin and toasty,
some
all snuggled
But
in.
I actually feel...
You can feel that warmth coming back.
I feel it radiating up.
And when you're
Holy
backpacking
hell.
or stuck in an emergency, the packaging is so small that's why it's so valuable.
Right. Yeah, because
easy to
space
take around.
is a premium
Exactly.
when you're
And weight.
taking, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm sold. I'm going to get a few of those.
Yes.
Keep a couple of those in the car.
Now, the difference with
Might
it all
save your life.
is big. Taking it
Right?
off after wearing it.
Yeah, once you have it
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
I want it back.
Right, Case?
Yeah.
Can you feel it automatically?
Immediately.
Okay.
Immediately.
That's legit.
Does it come in other colors? Can we?
I don't think we're going to be fashion forward on that.
Marissa McDonald from the Preston Steve Show was found frozen to death in a car. She said she couldn't find a color she liked.
Sorry.
By the way, here's a.
I was a little late on that.
Her fingers were frozen and couldn't hit the button.
Let me go to Nick because he's used this blanket for something else. Hi, Nick. You're on the air. Good morning.
Catherine Romano pierced her nipples.
Oh, that's true.
So revelation.
Thank you for reminding
we
us.
had last year. What's up, Nick?
So we went camping, and we're not really campers, so we got bored pretty quick. But we remembered the tent, so at least we did that.
Yes.
But so we took the blanket
and we laid it down out in the sun, and we decided to cook breakfast on it, and it kind of worked.
Are you kidding? So it was able to hold the heat?
I mean, yeah, we did coffee, toast. The toast worked really well, and then kind of runny eggs.
Kind of runny eggs.
So you tried to just using the heat from the sun on this, you use it. Wow.
Yeah, it was like early in the morning, too, so it wasn't even that hot out. But,
So, Nick and both Nicks, I'm curious as to what makes it such a viable heat source.
I guess just because
it's radiating your own body heat back on you.
Yeah, it comes right back to you.
Yeah.
It can't. The body heat doesn't escape. Wow, interesting.
I'm honestly going to get a pack of those.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to put one in my stolen wife's car.
They do have colors, so I saw that.
Oh. I'm in.
Do we still have time to keep going, or we need to take breaks?
We have to. You know what? Let me. We got to break in no more than 5 minutes.
I think we're saving lives here.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean, being prepared. Let me go to Rich. Hey, Rich. Good morning.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yo, buddy, you're on. Go ahead.
Okay, so like I worked. One of my first jobs was I worked for this lady that was a Green Bay cheerleader for a number of years. She lived up in Wisconsin.
I can barely
we can't
hear.
quite- yeah.
Rich, see if you can move your mouth closer to the to the phone.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Hey, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Much better. Yes, go ahead.
He turned off the Limerick nuclear power plant.
The advice that she told me about was always have like tea lights inside of the car.
I actually have those. Because I have it in the same pack that I have that blanket.
And why is that?
It's because like she told me horror stories that like every year dozen people freeze to death or asphyxiate in their car from running the car, and the carbon monoxide gets inside of the cabin.
Right.
So how does a key light fight that?
Light, and it'll just keep it, like at an okay 75 degrees to keep you alive while you're waiting in the car.
Oh, a tea light.
Tea light candle, yeah.
A tea light candle, okay.
That'll heat the car?
Yes, if you keep the doors closed, don't run the engine, and you let it burn for a little bit, it'll keep
It's interesting. Sometimes those will come in a survival kit.
And you believe then, and the purpose of that is to raise the.
I was told just to have a constant flame going, so you wouldn't have to keep lighting matches or something like that.
I thought it was
waste
for
matches.
Cooking your jerky over.
You could do that too, maybe.
You could cook your jerky as well.
Okay, interesting.
I
All right,
didn't
Rich.
know that.
Thanks. That little bit of flame could be enough to heat. Maybe if the heat is being inside the cabin of a car, I don't know.
Is
man.
that problematic
see
though
that.
with the
it's
smoke?
Maybe, but it's also a really nice ambiance.
That is true. Yeah.
By the way, the
white wine in the glove compartment comes.
The Red Cross says yes. You should make sure that the exhaust pipe is clear. This is if you're stuck in the snow or something like that, and the windows are cracked open to avoid letting exhaust fumes in. And you should huddle together in the car to preserve the heat. Make sure that you move your arms or legs occasionally and stay hydrated as well.
Would it behoove you, for huddling purposes, to always have a real doll in the car?
Yes, for real.
Yeah,
because you never know when you get horny too. I will go to Brian. Hey, Brian. Good morning.
Morning.
What's up, Brian?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Wonderful. So you're calling in. You've used the bracelet thing I had mentioned earlier, that cord bracelet.
Yeah, over in Iraq, all the guys used to wear them over there when I was in the military. And one time we needed to tie up some camo netting, and I took mine apart and it worked great.
There you go. All right, so I know that people, will wear them for just such an occasion. You just never really hear of many of the occasions popping up. So, all right, that's cool. It came in handy.
I might get one then.
Yeah, it's that there. I do, like I said, I think I might have one in my center console, my car. I quit wearing it all the time, but it's functional like that.
I think the peace of mind of having one and losing it is going to pay off in the long run.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right. Well, anyhow, it was a nasty snarl of traffic that people were stuck for over 24 hours in, and it was cold.
Well, and the conversation now as we start to enter is as snow is starting to come, and we don't know what we're going to get. This isn't like we're saying, we're going to get 15 feet. In fact, if anything, in this general area, it's a couple of inches.
Yeah.
But it's always a good idea to start the season thinking about having this in your car.
And I like putting little preparedness kits
I do
together.
too.
I think it's kind of cool.
I bought the tactical shovel kit, Preston.
Yeah.
It sits in my. Now it's actually back in the trunk, so it's there.
So a girl that I dated, her father was a police officer, her mother was a nurse, and all of their family friends were EMTs. Every single member of the family had a giant tackle box filled with anything and everything that you could possibly imagine. They even had road flares.
Yeah. There you go. We love road flares.
I don't have road flares, but I have these light up, LED blinking lights that you can put out in case you need them. So
those are cool too.
All right. Anyhow, so there you go. You're prepared. We have saved lives.
Yes,
Steve, we've done
I think so.
Yet again this morning.
Listen, save your accolades for the true heroes.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. The Bizarre File is coming up, as well as a quick stop on Fox 29. So we'll do that. Stay with us. 1-year-old son, Prince, previous relationship.
Okay. That's the tip-off.
She said, he's such a good dad. He's so great just during pregnancy, and he makes me more excited, too. I'm excited. That's unbelievable that he has just a 1-year-old and has moved on.
He's a great dad.
He's fathering another one over
dad.
here. And
Did he bring Chloe to the birth, Preston? Did she say that?
That's a good question.
Exemplary
The first
dad?
baby? Yeah.
Sweetie, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend.
How long is her gestation period? Do we know?
I don't know, because
It's 2 years.
there's a hibernation thing, right?
You guys are mean.
The one thing is that the baby can immediately forage for itself when it comes out.
There is a picture here of the 4 girls, and she is significantly taller.
Significantly.
I'm a little bigger.
And you know they're wearing heels, Kathy.
Yeah.
When she gets into her laughing fits, man,
she's so
watch
Can't
out.
stop. It's a runaway train. Her gynecologist actually zip lines in. It's crazy. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Is that a stalagmite? What is that? Oh my God. One-eyed Willie.
Chester Copperpot.
There's an entire pirate ship in here. Hey, you remember when we fought that octopus? Oh, that was in the edited scene.
Yeah, they took that out of the movie.
By the way,
The Gooey's instead of the Goonies.
she's really pretty.
She has.
She's yes.
She doesn't look anything like she used to look. My assistant. Come on over here, man.
Hey,
Look
Sloth,
at this.
come here.
Look at this. Navajo cave etchings.
Then when they have to do the look around the back end.
Goonies taking place inside Khloe Kardashian. Quickly, hide in the fallopian tubes. I'll use my chattering teeth to pull us up.
Oh, God. All right, so anyhow.
Okay.
They'll name the boy, if it's a boy, Tristan Jr.
Okay, cute.
Just to let you know. Here's another bit of trivia for National Trivia Day. Long before rap battles, there was flighting, the exchange of witty, insulting verses. The verbal throwdowns were popular in England and Scotland from the 5th to 16th centuries. So it was kind of like, your mama jokes, I guess, going back and forth. But back in the 5th to 16th
Your mater
centuries.
gives handies to the house staff.
Your mater.
Your mater. Your mater inhales snuff through her buttocks.
Burn.
Got you.
Dude, you know what that made me think of? Is we talked about knock knock jokes being a big thing in the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
And you were FDR.
He was trying to
doing a knock knock. Who was that? Your mother manually stimulates migrant workers. Oh my God! Yeah, so they were, it was called flighting.
Yeah, flighting,
and they would jab, do little jabs at each other.
Your mater is so corpulent when she sits around the house, the spire sticks in her rectum. Snap!
Oh snap!
Snap.
Oh my God! All right, so that's what they used to do apparently. So that's been going on for a long time.
I think we talked about this one time. The history of humor and what makes us want to laugh and makes us want to make others laugh, and it goes back. A lot of times, the basis of everything is in insults.
I felt like an idiot yesterday because my 8-year-old daughter got me with a little bit of a joke.
Did she?
Yeah. Can I get you with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, righty. Steve, would you remember me in an hour?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a day?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a month?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I thought you said you would remember me. Snap! I was like, how did I fall for that?
My daughter got me one yesterday too, which was what do you call a suspicious noodle?
What?
An impasta.
I was like, spaghetti?
All right.
It's like beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
Hawaiian.
A herd of jerking cattle.
Beef stroganoff. Or did you hear about the peanut walking through the park? It was assaulted. I mean, they're so stupid.
I know, and they're great.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know how to verbalize the feeling that I have inside when I see like lame Eagles chants and people making up their own lame Eagles fight songs and lame quote unquote pep rallies.
As you were,
like forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies.
Forced
Okay.
pep rallies. All right, here's one. Yeah, and these I love the outfit and I love the zeal
Can
for
you
it.
describe it, please, for
All right,
those who are listening to the radio?
So it is an older couple. Married couple that has made up, and they're dancing. They're wearing Eagles gear. She's got a cool little Eagles tinsel wig on, and Steve,
Yeah.
I know you love
I'm
tinsel.
a huge fan of tinsel.
Right.
And they're making up their own Eagles song.
So you hate this elderly couple because they've made up their own Eagles song?
I think it's a lame song.
So what? They're having fun.
You know what? And you're right. They are having fun.
Here, Marissa, pull the audio. She heard us talking about this in the break, so she pulled up the audio. I haven't heard this. I've just seen this video footage that we're watching right now. So here we go. This is them, and their Casey says lame Eagles fight song.
Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Get behind this, right?
Fly all the way up.
I agree with you, Kathy. Yes, they're having fun.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
I love it. I love the genuine zeal, the energy. What you don't know is that this woman is an Army veteran who donates her time on the... No, I don't know what the story is. They're having a great time.
Yes.
I was trying to run a CSI diagnosis or analysis of, I think, what... These are clearly long-time Eagles fans.
They're really happy.
Really entrenched in it. Are you more pissed off about what you perceive to be bandwagon jumpers? Okay, then I'm at a loss.
I just don't. Why do you have to make this lame song? We have a good song.
But they're not.
They're having fun. They're a couple. They're having
you know
fun
what,
in their
Kathy?
own
I'm
home.
with you. I am
Listen, they're not
totally
out performing it somewhere.
Fly all the way up. Well, yes, they are.
They're
And
in
now
their
it's
house.
on my Twitter feed.
Let me
I have
ask
no
you
control.
something.
Don't
In
watch
defense,
it.
and Kathy, I know you're going to back me up on this.
All
What do Eagles do?
They fly all the way up.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then they also swoop down and
Wait,
listen.
I love his participation. There's like one time where he's like,
Yeah,
that's it. Well, listen, I don't think they're trying to rewrite the Eagles fight song. They're just having some fun.
Listen, and I know because I bought the stinking dog mask. And anybody that wants to criticize the dog mask craze, I say, shut up. We're just having fun. You know what I mean?
You're contradicting
I'm
yourself
totally
here.
contradicting myself.
He's admitting the hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
So you're saying on a completely visceral level, and you don't understand it.
Right.
Is it all just based on the fact that you think this song sucks?
Yeah, I think.
When I think it's brilliant?
Well, all right. So I think I'm mad about the song because it was presented to me, and I believe it was presented to me on Twitter like, dude, this is great.
What do you mean? It was posted.
No, yeah, but it was somebody sent it to me.
Oh.
So somebody added me, and they're like,
as in-
this is great. And I was expecting it to be like this awesome song, and then I click on it, I'm like, oh.
That's not their fault. It's the person who sent it to you.
I think what they meant by this is great is look at this older couple having fun. That's probably what it means.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Did you see?
Fly all the way up.
I love that.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Come on, Eagles,
wanna
do
hear
your
his.
thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Wait, it's not even a whole yet.
It's like this.
It's
Yeah.
I'm on camera too.
It almost sounds like a someone from Maine. Fly
Fly all the way up.
Yeah. Can we have some goddamn dinner now?
We should try and start a new chant. I think this one is
S-E-A-G. No, not Seagull?
No, not Seagulls. No, fly all the way up.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Hang on, we have the actual.
Fly all
You've
the
come
way
around
up.
on this, haven't you?
We have the.
Fly all the way up.
I think we have the song that that inspired the
Come
whole
on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring.
Wait, here's-
Fly all the way up.
Best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just, I've been with this woman for 33 years, and every day is a living hell.
Here we go.
Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. All the way up. Nothing
I hear his part
me.
now.
I'm all the way up.
All right, so that's what it came from.
I hear his part now.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Is the dinner ready? Yeah. They're an adorable couple. They're having a blast. Yeah.
Well, I think that is the guy filming. The guy in the background, I don't think he
Doesn't ever
does
say anything.
I don't think he does anything.
He is dancing.
He is dancing,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
He's got some moves.
Is this song done now? Did we win the Super Bowl yet? Yeah.
Have you seen these tattoos that people will get of waveforms?
Of what now?
And you can use an app on your phone that reads the waveform and actually plays your tattoo. A gal got a tattoo, a waveform tattoo of the last voicemail that her grandmother left her before she died.
That's freaking wild.
And it was like, hey, honey, just want to call and say hi. All right, I'll talk to you later, something like that. And so she took the digital waveform, which any digital audio equipment, you visually see a waveform, and they managed to tattoo it. Here's a video of it up here on the monitor here, Steve. And they tattoo it on their skin, and then you hold this app up to it, and it reads it and plays it. How?
In their voice?
In their voice.
Shut.
Because the waveform is precise to the to the
tonal quality of the voice,
and it's amazing. Now, my question is how long is that going to last? That tattoo is eventually going to bleed a little bit in the size.
Hi, sweetie, I just called you.
But
now I regret getting that tattoo.
But it's pretty amazing.
Probably should have watched my weight.
Yeah.
I see it's grandma.
A stretch mark for us in the middle of it.
Yeah, put it in a spot that's not, put it like on your gut or anything.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
that's not going to expand or contract over time.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Talk about a tattoo that has some meaning.
Yeah.
And that can be converted to the audio is very cool. Even still, just a visual representation of your loved one's voice.
I just don't understand how that works, how it's their actual voice and not, do you know what I mean?
We'll grab a random text or two, and we'll also throw in Clifford the Big Red Dog
Preston and
Additional.
Steve, for years we've been talking about something called smell-o-vision. That's what we wish for. Like, let's say on TV we're doing a segment on lasagna or something. You'd actually be able to smell the lasagna coming through your TV. Well, now there's this scientist, look at that, you'd be able to smell that. Well, they're taking it up a notch. This Japanese scientist says he's invented something called lickable television, where you can lick the TV screen. He calls it taste the TV, and you'll be able to taste the flavors that should be seen on a TV segment. So if we had it right now, we'd kind of be smelling you guys and maybe be able to taste Steve.
Yeah, and I am delightful. I have to tell you that.
Yeah.
What do you guys? I don't know. To me, it'd be interesting, like when you're watching Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh man.
Just finally see if it does taste like tapioca.
I'll use Casey's comment that this is going to revolutionize the pornography industry.
Absolutely.
Sure.
What you really need to work on is a TV that licks you back.
That'd be nice.
Then you're talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I got nothing on that one, guys. Seriously, that just.
Right. Imagine that.
So are you supposed to have your own individual unit?
Yes.
Is this a family television?
Like a salt lick?
Yeah.
Yes. I think you'd have your own screen that you could put up against the TV and lick it. Like if we punch up Kathy,
yeah,
it may have a different taste than the rest of the guys there.
Right. Well, Marissa's in today, so she tastes kind of briny.
We've had a lot of fun conversations with you guys. This could possibly be the stupidest thing that's ever been brought up. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
It's a good
at
way.
all, but
It's a good way, yeah.
That's one of the dumbest inventions I've ever heard of.
I mean, we're still waiting on the lickable doorknobs, which we think is a great idea.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll see you later, guys. Oh, my God. No. What?
They've tried things like this. I don't know. We talked about this years ago, and maybe you remember this, Preston. Years ago, there was a show, kid show called Winky Dink. And Winky Dink you would get it, and you'd order it. You could buy them at the toy store, too. They would have this acetate screen that you would put on your actual picture on your screen.
Yeah.
And so Winky Dink is trapped on this side of the cliff. Draw him a rope ladder.
I vaguely remember
Right. And so you would draw on the acetate. The problem was kids weren't buying the screens and just drawing on the on the actual TV
Right on the
with
screen.
the crayons. But I had one. I thought it was a blast.
Yeah.
You know?
Man.
But licking the screen, I don't know if I'm down with that.
No, that's just that doesn't make any sense at all. Do you remember Scratch and Sniffs?
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Stickers.
And you know what? I still have like haunted memories of some of those scents because they just didn't hit the mark, man. I remember like cinnamon or something like that, just having a really bad smell to it. Or
John Waters remember the movie that he was in Smellorama?
Smellorama, yeah.
Yeah. And you'd get each of the people attending the screening will get a card, and at certain points in the movie, a number would pop up, and you'd scratch that number, and it would correspond to whatever they were doing. And
knowing John Waters, it was
unpleasant.
Some gross stuff, I would imagine.
It was like pepperoni pizza didn't really hit the mark. I always liked the fruitier smells.
Yeah.
The scratch and sniff. Pickle was also one that didn't hit the mark, but I still liked the smell of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I have bad memories of the scratch and sniff.
Yeah, like grape and the markers. The markers
Now,
are really good.
those were dangerous because I wanted to eat them. They smelled so good, like the green apple and stuff like that.
I like that green apple smell. I liked green apple gum.
That was good, too. I would just swallow it. I mean, just eat it like candy. Why not? All right, anyhow, we have some bizarre file stories, so we're going to get to them now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. Choose a free upgrade when you purchase a new system, plus Horizon will install as soon as tomorrow, or it is free. Visit horizonservices.com. All right, everybody sent me this story, and justifiably so, because we would have to cover it in the Bizarre File. A former reality star, this is a follow-up, who made $200,000 from farting in jars, has announced her retirement.
Oh, no!
After she was rushed to the hospital for squeezing out one too many. So, Steph Matto recently found herself in the ER with symptoms of heart attack after experiencing shooting pains in her chest. Concerned doctors performed blood tests and an electrocardiogram, but later told the 90 Day Fiancé star that the symptoms were actually caused by excess gas from her frequent diet of beans, eggs, and banana protein shakes.
Wow. Now, we've all been in that situation. I know you have had that, Preston, where you're sure you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And you just got a gas buildup.
It happens. Speaking about the moment that she took ill, Steph said, I thought I was having a stroke and that these were my final moments. I was overdoing it. She began selling her farts in a jar in November last year after receiving questions on the adult content site Unfiltered. The unique product saw her rake in the cash at $1,000 per jar, though Steph offered a 50% discount during the festive period.
To veterans.
To keep up with the demand, which saw her squeeze out up to 50 jars worth of farts a week.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's got to be a total drag on your body.
The self-proclaimed fartrepreneur opted for a fiber-high diet, living off of beans and eggs. She later added protein shakes to the mix after discovering it made the farts smell worse. I never know when to come in on this one.
Yeah, you got about another 3 seconds.
Reliving the lead up to the hospital visit, Steph said, I remember within one day I had about 3 protein shakes and a huge bowl of black bean soup.
That'd blow out your butthole.
And I could tell that something was not right that evening when I was lying in bed and I could feel pressure in my stomach moving upward.
Is she seeing anybody?
I ended up going to the hospital that evening, and I didn't tell my doctors about the farting in the jar, but I did tell them about my diet. And it was made clear that what I was experiencing wasn't a stroke or heart attack, but very intense gas pains. I was advised to change my diet and take a gas suppressant medication, which has effectively ended my business.
So there's a picture of her in, I assume, a hospital bed. It looks like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, she doesn't look in a good way.
During her 2-month venture, reality star Steph worked every day to keep up with the demand and says that the key to smellier gas is banana protein shakes. She had apparently... she said, I couldn't believe the demand for the jars. I think a lot of people have this fetish in secret. I began this venture by eating mostly protein muffin shakes and also hard-boiled eggs. Since then, I've decided to branch out a little bit and try some new recipes to keep it exciting.
I'm looking into piss.
And she had said that, yes, the banana smoothies made them smell stronger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. I'm certainly I can see that. And what she was eating was incredibly volatile.
But she's done, she says. I think she'll come back.
Well,
around
you know, you retire as the goat.
A New York teacher, listen to this, has been arrested for allegedly injecting a minor with a COVID-19 vaccine without the consent of his parents.
No.
Laura Russo was arrested.
That's replaced Pizza Day.
On New Year's Eve after police were informed that she had allegedly injected a 17-year-old boy with the vaccine. The 17-year-old boy had visited Russo's home where she administered what was believed to be a COVID vaccine to him. It is unclear how she came to obtain the vaccine. Police said that the boy's mother called the authorities after her son had told her that he had gotten the jab.
Oh, I also gave him a tonsillectomy.
Police said Russo is not a medical professional, is not authorized to administer vaccines. She was placed under arrest for that incident and has been charged with New York State education law unauthorized practice of a profession.
Wow.
The district said Russo had been reassigned from the classroom pending the outcome of the investigation into the allegations against her. The school district said the allegations were not related to the school she worked at, however, and noted that the incident did not occur on school property.
So in her downtime, she's begun farting into jars.
Oh,
Preston.
so she's going to need to make ends meet.
To pick up some extra cash.
Listen to this, man. A 28-year-old New York man died Sunday morning after attempting to jump a subway turnstile in Queens.
I saw Did you see the footage?
No.
Yeah, they have security camera footage.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It killed him.
Yeah.
Hit his head, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Officers responded to a 911 call, and they discovered the man, who was not identified by authorities, unresponsive on the concrete floor of the Forest Hill 71st Avenue station. He was declared dead at the scene. Police said surveillance footage showed that when he hopped over the turnstile at the station, the man's foot caught and he tumbled headfirst onto the floor. The city's medical examiner will determine the exact cause of death. Strap hangers who jump turnstiles are generally trying to avoid paying the $2.75 subway fare. Occasionally, riders will also leap the barrier if the turnstile is stuck or otherwise inoperable.
You see it all the time.
Oh, yeah,
People
yeah.
just jump. In fact, it's almost like an Olympic event.
Yeah. All right, one last story. A fire department came to the rescue of a loon on a frozen pond in Maine.
Listen to that, Norman.
The problem for the birds at this time of year is that the ice can leave them without enough open water that they need to take off. And
stupid goddamn loons.
Because of the ice, the loon couldn't take flight from Tacoma
I
Lake.
hope you freeze to death.
He's so mean. On Sunday, it took firefighters about 2 hours to get the bird, which is about a quarter mile from shore.
Kill it. Use one of your fire axes and cut its goddamn head off all night long. No, man. Shut up. You're next.
Oh, my God. These two need to work their issues out. Avian Haven, a rehabilitation center for wild birds, reached out to the Monmouth Fire Department for help to keep an eye on the iced-in loon. Loons normally depart frozen lakes and spend their winter offshore, but sometimes they wait too late to depart. Milder winters can delay the icing of ponds and lakes sometimes well into January. Iced-in loons are usually are usually seen in the first couple of weeks in January.
You know, we tend to forget, and it is a weird thing to comprehend this, but you see animals out obviously in nature, but animals freeze to death every year. There are some that do. I mean, obviously they're better equipped to handle inclement weather. But at a certain point,
there's usually a time where when you see like a little baby deer with the spots, if the baby deer has the spots still, after a certain time of the year, you're like, I had heard it's not going to make it through the winter.
It's a good chance. Yeah, that they're not.
Spots on the deer, not going to be here.
Not going to be here. That they won't have enough, I guess, fat or whatever to.
And it might
by
be
the way,
like,
I just made that up. That's not a real saying.
It might be spots on the deer after like Labor Day or something like
Spots
that.
on the deer after New Year.
Yeah. It's not fashionable to wear your spots after. But it is pretty amazing. We've talked about that before, how when we go through these sub-zero temperatures, how nature is, these animals are adapted to live and thrive.
It's astonishing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy. If you guys all watched the March of the Penguins, right? With Morgan Freeman was the narrator.
Yes.
But they are in
Here's a picture of another friggin' penguin.
I mean, they're just in the harshest of conditions. But the one penguin had the egg, and the egg sits on its feet. And the egg fell off the feet of the penguin for just a few seconds, and that was it. That's enough? That's all it took for the egg. Wow. The insulation of the penguin's feet were keeping that egg alive.
It's amazing. I haven't seen that movie in a long, long time. It was a good flick. All right, that's all I have in the Bizarre File.
That's enough.
Let's take a quick break. Come back in a moment. We got Damian Priest from WWE joining us in a little while. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Now, it may be what happens is, I don't know the specifics. In the perfect scenario, the waveform represents exactly all the tonal aspects of what it's representing. However, maybe what it does is the app plays it back through a stored recording that matches that waveform.
Let's find out. I'm looking it up right now.
Because it almost seems...
Where are my cookies?
It almost seems impossible, and you want them, you want the waveform to stay in their best.
Right, yeah.
I have to piss.
It's great hearing him again.
You don't want me dead. Okay, you can have my money, you blood-sucking bastards.
I also like to look at animated feature film. Because we watch a lot of animated movies in my house. The Boss Baby. Nick, you liked that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
I saw it. It's funny. It's funny for adults.
Yeah.
The Breadwinner.
Oh, is that one of those lame ones?
And from Czechoslovakia, the Breadwinner.
I didn't know you spoke Czech.
They show a clip or something. You don't even know what it is.
It's the Czech Republic now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or the cashier's
But
Czech
Steve's
Republic.
right. This is a headstrong young girl from Afghanistan. She disguises herself as a boy and blah, 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 blah.
All right, the Breadwinner.
Because she wants to learn and then go to school and go to college and have a life. Shut up.
Okay.
Kathy, Coco's on here.
Yay, that was so good. I loved it.
That was so good.
I like 2 chickens to Coco, please.
Is that really how it sounds?
It's 2 chickens to Coco. I think you need the photosensitive screening.
It's fine. I hate myself.
I like Coco.
So Coco's on there.
It was very good.
Ferdinand, which none of us have seen.
It's John Cena doing the voice of the Ferdinand the Bull.
I would like to see that. And then Loving Vincent. That's got to be another one of those, right?
Yep.
From Romania, Loving Vincent.
Get that bear.
It's about Vincent Van Gogh?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like a great cartoon.
Boring.
Yeah. Maybe one of the guys from The Bachelor would be there.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love you. I cut my ear off.
Saoirse Ronan's in that too.
He has a talking cat.
I love it.
Oh, this is rotoscoped. So the process of rotoscoping is taking live film and coloring it in.
Yeah.
It's not even animation. Shut up.
All right, stop me on a category that you care about. All right, foreign language film, film editing, production design, costume design.
Ooh.
She's back.
Ooh. I say Coco.
All right, here we go. Beauty and the Beast.
You know what?
They had great outfits in there.
I was a sucker for that. But did you see it?
I didn't see it. No,
Kathy,
I didn't see it.
I was not, I wouldn't say I was resisting it, but I'm like, how are they going to improve on the original French version?
Right.
And then the animated version? They did a great job.
All right, so this is a costume design. Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, Why does it have an L there? It's The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Elvis.
No, it was L, The Shape of Water.
Okay.
And Victoria and Abdul. I don't know that one.
That's the Queen Victoria goes to like
right.
Iran or something.
Okay. Makeup and hairstyling.
Nah.
Original score.
Yes, yes.
And,
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino has anything on here. I don't know.
He did Coco.
Coco. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Preston and Steve Show in Philadelphia, Kathy Romano. The world of animation is a wonderful world.
All right. Here are the original score. Dunkirk. Lisa Marie Presley.
Wow.
Lisa Marie turns 50 years old.
That's right. That's little Lisa Marie.
Yeah, little old
It's okay. It's okay. She's 14.
Well, it was a different time.
It was a
back
different
then,
time, man, when you could date a 14-year-old and have sex with a monkey in the room.
Well, this is his daughter. This is the king's daughter, Lisa Marie, not Scylla.
Scylla, yeah.
So
I get them all confused.
I know. But she is, she's turning 50 years old today, so it's a big one for her.
Now, she was married to Michael Jackson and Randy Keough.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Randy Keough?
I think
Danny guy or
Danny Keough.
Danny Keough.
Yeah, and then she was also married to Nicolas Cage, and then she was married to a guy named Michael Lockwood, and
It's a whole morass of stuff.
currently single.
She participated in probably one of the most awkward kisses ever televised, which was the MTV. And he said it wouldn't last. Look, I'm hetero.
It was so weird. It was so weird.
Look, I can kiss chicks. All right, here we go.
Let's just count down.
It took every bit of effort.
Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I did it.
Oh, Jesus. That's what's going through his head.
Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy, your little boy. Your little... I did it.
You donked it. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord.
They said it wouldn't last. In your face. I'm a little boy forever.
Has she ever said anything?
She says, she actually says it was a good relationship, like a regular relationship. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's how he powers through.
Your little boy, your little boy.
All right, here you go. Your little boy, your little boy, your little boy, your little boy.
All right, Jesus.
It's like when we were eating the surströmming.
Yeah, you're like,
all right.
This is prime rib. This is prime rib.
Man, there's only one waterbed store in New Jersey. And they have, I'm looking up the pricing, but it's conveniently located near Route 1 and 287.
That's when you call him.
Yes, hello?
Okay. It's close to like,
Yes, hello? What? That's a pizza place. You got the wrong number.
Hang on, let me.
What a message is it? Yes, hello, can I help you? Yes, Buddha, yes, we have them, and we're open.
It's like,
Yes, hello?
I don't think I've ever heard you yell into that filtered microphone for it. He's looking for it. Hang on a second.
Yes, hello! Yes! Waterbeds, we have them! Waterbeds, hello! You're the receiver.
Falling on the
Yes, hello!
Wait a minute. Do it with the receiver. There we go. All right.
Yes, hello! Yes! Waterbeds, we got them!
I don't know. That's got to be a lonely gig.
I grew up, where in St. Louis there was a place called the Waterbed Store, and it was they had several locations around the city and everything.
Yes, hello! Yeah, who is it? What? No, wrong number.
Damn it. They sell them on Amazon.
Please stand, please. Yes, we're open. You just say, I'll come to you.
Is this the Waterbed Store?
Don't even drive here. I'll come to you. Where are you?
Jim, I'm gonna go to Jim. Uses a waterbed still. Hey, Jim, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I own a waterbed. I use it every night.
Oh no, we're talking about waterbeds, not waterbeds.
Different product.
Different product.
What is
Jim,
that?
how long have you had it?
20 years.
Yeah, Jim, is that you? You want to buy another one? Jim!
I actually had to buy another one about 3 years ago and had to order it from California.
Okay.
Jim, is that you? Jim!
He's the last waterbed owner.
Jim, is that you? Jim!
By the way, here's a text that says Jordan Woods is her best friend. How do you report on them all the time and not know this? I don't pay attention to
Yes,
my reports.
of course.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this
I
is
just
all-
report this stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
Our goal is to not retain any of
At
this.
6:58, we have forgotten everything about the job.
Absolutely.
And that's the way it should
Well,
be.
Jordan Woods was never, ever spoken on this show.
What?
No, I don't know the name Jordan Woods either.
I'm sure at some time or another.
If I have, I think through therapy I was able to forget it.
But anyhow, as Kylie's baby news took over the internet, her mom, Chris, was whooping it up.
Jesus Christ.
At Chrissy Teigen and John Legend's house.
Stop it.
And they were watching the Super Bowl. But it looks like... Hold on. It looks like Jenner may have had too much fun. Tegan shared a shot of a broken table on Snapchat explaining that Jenner crashed into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kris Jenner smashed into the table, apparently, and took it out while...
Oh no, that's my favorite table.
That's while she was whooping.
Shelbyville, isn't it?
Whooping it up. Our next guest is an accomplished writer and director. A couple little things you may have heard of before, like Loopers and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And we... Oh, you want me to play his case? There you go. Need a fanfare when we bring somebody on board. But he is here to promote the film Knives Out, which is star-studded, looks really, really cool. Please welcome writer and director Ryan Johnson.
Thank you.
Hey, Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great, President. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. We're excited about this.
Tremendously.
We're fans of the murder mystery, the whodunits, and all that, and you just don't see them that often. And
this style, because in the vein of Agatha Christie and in the vein of 12 Little Indians, Murder on the Orient Express, the Hitchcock, that sort of stuff. And when they're done well, there's nothing like them. They just totally bring you in.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite genres, man. Like I grew up reading Agatha Christie's books. I grew up
Loved
reading
them.
like the movies based on them, and it's so much like everybody loves a good murder mystery, like a good whodunit, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
And it also is one of the few that allows for great ensemble work.
Yes. Yeah. You got like a rogues gallery of suspects.
Yeah.
The idea with this
know what's going on in this town.
Oh, yeah.
time for the city beat.
Scoobity wow wow.
Yeah.
It's time for the city beat.
And I have to say hats off to field reporter Marissa Magnotta for digging up these stories for me. I do appreciate it. There's some good stuff coming up. She definitely has her finger on the pulse.
She's just a city girl.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
guys.
keep my finger on her.
Yeah,
and
on
therefore
her
I can
pulse, yeah.
feel the pulse. So,
Boots on the ground for you.
Yep. So we're going to start with this little story. This is interesting. It's from Realtor.com. Philadelphia is the third trendiest affordable metropolitan area in the country.
It's kind of been hovering in that pocket for a couple of years now, which is very in light of everything that's gone on. That's very promising.
So Realtor.com looked at the nation's 300 largest metros for urban areas that are rich in culture and have a supply of relatively affordable homes compared to high cost cultural centers.
We're rich in culture.
Gosh. The Barnes Museum, the Rodin, Preston and Steve show.
To make the Okay.
That's homegrown right there, bro.
To make the list of 10 cities, metros had to have amenities such as yoga studios, breweries, art house theaters, farmers markets, and bike shops.
Huh. That seems rather arbitrary.
These regions attracted residents ages 25 to 34 to move into the area between 2018 and 2019, according to the Census Bureau.
Okay.
So the metros also had median home listing prices of $400,000 or less in November. The median price in Philadelphia was $312,450.
By the way, I mean, that's... So you compare it to other big cities and other metro areas around, that is pretty damn good.
Agreed. The affordability that propelled Philadelphia toward the top of the list is only in comparison to other major cities with high cost of living. This is according to a real estate agent, a guy named Michael Scapone, who is an agent for Coldwell Banker. Where did you get this story, Marissa? It was in the...
I think Philly Mag did an article on this.
And so he had said it's cheaper now to live here than in New York or D.C. or Boston, but how long does that last? He said the way it's going, it doesn't seem like it's going to last much longer. But he encouraged anyone who wants to live in the city to buy now before home prices start to rise further and mortgage rates climb. I said that he's seen a lot of young professionals moving to Philadelphia who are making decent incomes and can work from home. Transplants usually come from other major cities, mostly New York and Boston, Washington, Chicago.
Yes.
Interesting.
Steve, as soon as you mentioned that, I have a friend who lives in Center City. He used to commute to Manhattan every day just on the train. His job actually brought him back down to Philly, but he made Manhattan money.
Yeah.
Living in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he never even for once considered buying up there just because of cost. He loves the city. He loves being up in New York, but he was like, there's no way I'm going to afford it that way.
Well, the ripple effect, that the way it used to exist. Okay, I'm on the Amtrak corridor. I can get up to Manhattan. I can do so that gets shifted a little bit, and so I only go in a couple of days now. Now with the pandemic shifting to a lot of people saying, even past all this and this surge, a lot of people are still probably going to work from home.
I thought when you said ripple effect, I thought you meant that cheap wine.
Yes, yeah. That's just, I don't want to work.
Just get drunk.
Yeah. It's crazy that it's cheaper to commute via train to New York City every single day than it is to actually live in New York City.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, like a lot of the stuff, when you go to Manayunk, they jammed in all these. Yeah. Everywhere there's available space, these apartments and condos. That was the presumption, is that people are just going to use the trains to get up. You're probably going to be at about the same amount of time, depending on where you're working.
Right.
Or if you can work on the train. Long story short, though, to have this lower home purchasing price or condo purchasing price or rental here, and then make money like you'd make in New York, as Nick said. That's a kind of a win.
What's crazy, though, is I know a couple of different people who are looking to sell their condos in Philadelphia, and they're not moving. Yeah. They're not moving at all. And the one person, I was like, why don't you just rent it? And he's like, because I don't want to get stuck with the way the pandemic is going, and like with.
Do you think that's primarily just a city thing? Because on the other side of the coin, you hear
in the burbs you can't buy.
You put a house up and it's gone.
You can't find a house to buy. I mean, the flippers and the other people who like, let's say a house is going for $300,000 in Delco, right? you're going to get into a bidding war. It's going to go for 4.
Yeah, people
right?
people immediately offer more than
And
the
you can
asking
sell
price.
it that day.
That day.
You can get rid of it the day it goes on the market.
Yeah, the market in Center City is very high, and that's the problem. And the need is not there as much. These houses that he's talking about under $400,000 are on the outskirts. They're in like Kensington or parts of South Philly that are up and coming, quote unquote.
Ones that are being gentrified.
Yeah, exactly. That too. So any of those like $3 million homes in Rittenhouse Square just obviously are sitting there for a long, long time. And you can't find contractors to fix things. So if there's any problems with the building or something like that, friends of mine just experienced that, you can't get it fixed to sell it.
By the way, he points out that the trendy title also comes from the food scene, small businesses, shops and nightlife, walkability, and something for everyone offering.
Culture.
It's funny. I love the idea of walkability, right? So at a certain point, you know, and it's crazy that in this stage of my life that I'm actually sort of thinking about, okay, what do I do when the kids are out? And, you know, my wife and I, when we downsize, we want to go to an area that has walkability.
Yeah.
The city is not part of that plan at all. Yeah. We like Media, we like Narberth, you know, these little areas that have like a little town center.
Yeah, a little hamlet.
Yes. Yeah.
Little Macbeth.
On New Year's Day, I walked from my house. I walked like halfway up the parade route. I hopped on the subway. I went to Live Casino, watched the game at Live Casino. Then I left Live Casino and walked all the way to 2 Street for more Mummers stuff, and then walked home. Like, it's just, to me, the city is very walkable.
Yeah, right,
if
it
you
is.
know it.
It definitely is. So, all right, anyhow, Realtor.com reported that Philadelphia's culture, history, and quaint neighborhoods are predictably, the report specifically mentions Fishtown and its boutique hotels, restaurants, and galleries. And shops as well. So, by the way, real quick, Savannah, Georgia was second. All right. New Orleans ranked third, I believe. And then it goes New Haven, Connecticut, Sioux City, Iowa, Albany, New York, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Eau Claire, is that how you say it? Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Baltimore, and Orlando. Those are the top 10.
The last 2 times I was in the city, one was we had a dinner for Pierre that was in the Rittenhouse Square area, and then another time I went to Foxy Lady Chef's new restaurant, Juana Tamale, and that's in South Philadelphia. Circling the neighborhoods to find parking, especially in South Philadelphia.
It's
ridiculous.
When they said I would go anywhere to acknowledge Pierre's deal, but when they said, and I did, I went in dutifully, and then, listen, when all is said and done, I was able to park for under $40.
Right. Well, listen, in Center City, at least you got garages if you need to bail out and find a place. In South Philly, you just can't find a place to park.
The last 2 times I've gone into the city, I've taken the train for these very reasons. And I went and saw the Spider-Man in the gallery or market. What's that called?
Fashion District.
Yeah, and then for the Pierre thing, I'd much rather take the train, spend $15 or whatever it is, and walk than deal with the parking, deal with the garages, and deal with the driving in and out of the city.
Yeah, there's a case to be made, certainly.
You did the train for the Pierre thing as well?
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. I mean, I didn't necessarily have that option for the South Philly venture that I took.
I wanted to pay $40 for parking.
Dude.
Other things going on in the city. We got more on the beat here, gang.
On the beat from the city beatster guy.
You're going to love this, Steve. Going to love this. Bugs Bunny at the Symphony returns to the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Love it.
New edition of this critically acclaimed concert. I think I have to go to this.
So I saw it years ago when it was the Carl Stalling project. Okay. So it was, the original composer of so much of that Bugs Bunny music.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's so good.
I had no idea that I was being taught or given a lesson in classical music when I was watching that stuff, but I was, and I love it. And by the way, all of the Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny cartoons, are on HBO Max right now.
That's awesome. So apparently more than a dozen beloved classic Looney Tunes projected onto the big screen while the Philadelphia Orchestra plays the classical music-infused original scores. And the new version features iconic favorites like What's Opera, Doc?
Which is Killed a Rabbit, Killed a Rabbit.
Yeah, and then you have The Wabbit of Seville.
Yes.
Baton Buddy and Corny Concerto. So those are new additions to it.
Which one is it, Steve, that it's Elmer Fudd. He goes, "What white beyond window breaks?" Is that
I don't know. I don't think that's the same
that's-
one.
no, it's not
but
the same one.
That's out of Romeo and Juliet. But what's Opera Doc is Spear and Magic Helmet.
Spear and Magic Helmet. And then Bugs Bunny looks at the camera and goes, Spear and Magic Helmet.
Yeah. And then he starts to destroy the whole world with it.
He goes, lightning, thunder, smog.
Where are these screenings going to be?
You know what? That's a good question. I did not. I assumed at the Kimmel Center.
I believe so.
Okay. Nice. So the recent additions include 6 newly produced Warner Brothers animated shorts. So there's going to be some new stuff thrown into this as well. The concert is conducted by George Daughtry and is created by George Daughtry and David Ka-Lik Wong as well. So I would love to see this in person because it is so impressive. When you watch the Warner Brothers cartoons, and when there's a piece of music that's just accentuating the actions that are going on, like little punches to throwing something across the room and it hitting the wall, how a conductor can. Like, there's no tempo to that. Like, I don't know how the musicians play that. I don't
stings,
know
like
how they do it.
Orchestral stings that are like.
Or they go in with changing tempos. It might be bum 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 bum, something like that because you're speeding up.
Well, the gag they always used to do, Preston, which is up and down the stairs, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And of course the classic piano, exploding piano thing.
You would hope that they would do that.
Oh, it'd be so
in
great.
this as well. And we played that I don't know how many times on here, but that gag never gets old to me at all. So. The Philadelphia Orchestra, and it is, I don't have the dates on it.
It's this weekend, Preston.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We'll miss it.
So
just this weekend?
It's Friday. There's an 8 o'clock show. Saturday and Sunday, there's 2 p.m. shows, and it is at Verizon Hall at the Kimmel Center.
I can't go. I got friends coming in from out of town.
Bring them.
We have other plans.
The train.
Way to rip our hearts out, Marissa. No, that's awesome, though.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's coming to town, part of the City Beat. All right. Something else. There. Okay.
You stupid rabbit! Like this!
I love it. I love it. All right. Another thing for you to take in that will be in our fine city will be Michelangelo's paintings on the Vatican Sistine Chapel ceiling. Not the real ones, but they are doing reproductions of the
What the hell happened to the ceiling?
the iconic frescoes at Fashion District, Philadelphia, which we had just mentioned.
Pretzels? There's a right near that's pretzels.
Yeah, so Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, the exhibition, will be running from the 21st to February 20th at the Center City Shopping Mall.
You know, in the original artwork on the Sistine Chapel, the God was holding out a Wetzel's pretzel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the exhibit will include more than 30 recreations of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel paintings, including pieces such as The Creation of Adam and The Last Judgment. So to give a little background, 1508 to 1512, that's when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel ceiling with depictions of scenes from the Old and New Testaments. And then he returned in 1836 to complete a 5-year redesign of the chapel's altar wall.
It's highly dramatized, but have you ever seen the movie The Agony and the Ecstasy about Michelangelo and the Pope and dealing with the Sistine Chapel and what they had to build for him to paint it?
Okay.
You know, it's pretty wild.
In order, like the scaffolding for him to get up there? Yeah, I would imagine it was quite extensive.
And he had a local paint company.
Oh, okay, good.
He'd show up at the Lowe's early.
So the frescoes have been replicated using special printing technique that copies the original paintings and produces licensed high-definition photos.
Does that do anything for you? Replicas?
Listen, I'll never get over there. So to see something that's fairly close to that might be kind of cool, you know? But no, like when we went to the Banksy exhibit and we saw replicas, I'm like, I want to see the actual. I want to see the thing. So anyhow, but the life-size replicas will stretch from floor to ceiling, offering guests a different vantage point of the paintings. There's an audio guide if you want to get that as well. Tickets are on sale now. It's
Tony Danza is doing the audio guide, by the way.
It's like, oh, he is?
And then he painted his ceiling.
It takes, if you do the audio, it's 60 to 90 minutes, but only 30 to 45 minutes to visit without the narrative along. So,
Michelangelo was a good artist. And then the Pope said, could you do something with that? I don't know, something that looks like God. And he said, yeah, I could do that. How much paint you got?
and thus, the audio version from Tony Danza.
I find that it's true, though, when you do take the guided tour, it will take a lot longer.
Yeah, most definitely.
And but you also get the informational stuff.
But you can skip ahead sometimes if it's a digital thing they give you. And
If you want to jump ahead, press the L button.
I've done that. We did that at Eastern State Penitentiary.
This is where
Steve Buscemi does that.
Steve Buscemi narrated. Yep, exactly. All right.
I don't do a Buscemi.
All right. Other city beat stories. This is pretty cool. A film based on Boyz II Men's discography is reportedly in the works from Amazon Studios and Malcolm D. Lee's Blackmailed Productions. The movie musical will tell a coming-of-age story about four men who reunite to their West Philadelphia school for a reunion following graduation and showcase how they've changed in the 20 years since they last saw one another. The musical, which will feature songs from the R&B trio's 80s and 90s catalog, is not a biopic, according to The Hollywood Reporter, who was first to report on this project. There is limited information on how the Boyz II Men catalog will be used, but the film is influenced and inspired by the group and their discography.
All right,
so it's not really going to be their story.
It's a step-off point.
Yeah.
Influenced, as they say.
I guess, but they're going to use their music in it, which is kind of
pretty weird.
Interesting.
I like that, though.
According to the synopsis, the four men return after going their separate ways, eventually finding hope, redemption, and a new understanding of the enduring power of friendship.
Did you like that movie, Across the Universe?
I did.
Okay.
I did. We talked about that, the Beatles movie. I thought, listen, is it a masterpiece? No. But to see the songs realized, the Beatles songs realized that way by that particular director, she's pretty phenomenal. I thought it was good.
Yeah, the music is pretty great.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about Boyz II Men. They were on the live version of Different Strokes that Jimmy Kimmel and Norman
Yes,
Lear
they
did
were.
last month. But there were only two of the boys in Boyz II Men.
It was three.
Yes, and so I didn't know why they only had two. And they came out and they sang the theme to Different Strokes. They sang it really well. It sounded fantastic, but I don't know where the third boy of Boyz II Men is.
That's a good question, because initially there were four.
There were four, and then one stepped away. I think he had back issues, because when we had them...
The guy with the bass voice?
I think so.
And all the Philly steaks you could eat.
Yeah, when we had them in studio, he had already stepped away from the band at that point.
Okay.
They were also there was a thing called a boy band Christmas, and I think ABC had it. They had them. They had LFO, I guess it was, and some of the Backstreet Boys and some of NSYNC, like Joey Fatone. And so there was a big celebration of boy bands.
They are wearing velour tracksuits, and I applaud them for that.
Marissa, jump in. You've been trying to say something for 10 minutes.
But you guys have all this Boyz II Men news. I couldn't jump in. I will say, Nick, that they do tours of three of them. So I'm guessing that one of them just wasn't available to help out, or maybe they couldn't write a mix for
so
three
they
of them.
still tour.
I watched this Netflix thing about boy bands, and Boyz II Men kicked it off, and they pretty much were saying how Boyz II Men was one of the quintessential, or one of the most successful boy bands ever.
Okay.
More successful than the ones in the 80s, and if you compare them to the ones in the 2000s, that they were even more successful. And they said one of the things that they would always get caught on is they would do radio stations or appearances, and everyone would say, hey, can you guys just, do a quick jingle for us and, say our names or something like that? And they were like, that actually takes us hours to plan that out. We can't just do it on the fly.
Right.
I also don't consider them to be a boy band. They weren't manufactured the way the boy bands were.
Right, like
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
O-Town.
O-Town. Yeah, all those guys were put together, by a studio and a producer and stuff. And these guys found each other in high school.
Right. And besides, their name is Boyz II Men.
That's
It went from boys to men.
Stop it.
BBC,
they were
BBD.
awesome when they came by here. They were so great. We had them. It was when we were in the old studio in the Pierre Robert studio.
And I wanted to sing for them so bad, but I had a cold at the time. Because I love those guys.
You would have sung for them?
I did. I sang, but I had a head cold, so I couldn't.
What did you sing?
Please Don't Go. It's from, I think, their debut album.
Cooley High Harmony?
Cooley High Harmony.
Which,
Can
by
you
the way,
do a little of it for us? Right now?
I could
Acapella?
Yeah, I could do.
Gotta take his gum out.
Yeah. All right.
Like all the boy
I gotta
bands
take my
did.
headphones off.
By the way, last year marked the 30th anniversary of Cooley High Harmony, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1991.
You want an intro?
Slowly. Nah, I'm a little bit off. Slowly. My eyes begin to see that I need you near and away from me at all times.
Yeah.
My feelings are so...
Oh, you're still going. Okay.
Let's give them something to talk about.
They are so good in concert.
Hang on a second.
So good in concert.
Shooby-dooby-doo-bop, shooby-dooby-doo-bop, yeah, magic.
Okay, that's Casey's favorite part. All right, let me see. Other stuff. I want to get to this if we have time.
We got a robust city beat.
City beat. So if you've got a Christmas tree and you haven't gotten rid of it yet, for the 4th year running, the Philly Goat Project is hosting a series of tree cycle events where you can bring your tree decorations removed to the nonprofit farm in Germantown, and it'll become food for the animals or turned into wood chips to be used on trails and gardens around Philadelphia.
Like Branchy.
Just like Branchy. Douglas firs are apparently a goat favorite, but they'll eat any kind of evergreen, devouring the whole thing in about 20 minutes.
Didn't know that goats are favorite or fancied Christmas trees.
Didn't know that either.
Years ago, Preston, you lamented about throwing away a wood stir, right? We'd gone to a Wawa or something like that, and you felt bad for throwing that stir away. You felt, and every time I see a Christmas tree being taken to the curb, I feel bad for that tree, and like there's something about it where I'm like that poor tree has lived its life, and now it's just going to be tossed away.
It was loved by a family. It was the center
Yes.
of warmth and love in a home, and now it's been cast asunder.
Yeah, well, now you can have it eaten by a goat and crapped out.
I would like to have that happen.
I would actually have a little more purpose to
Yes.
it. So
did not die in vain.
The event is being held on 2 Saturdays from noon to 3 p.m., January 8th and January 22nd. And you don't need reservations this year. There are 3 ways to participate. There's curbside drop-off at 6336 Ardeley Street. You can take a goat safari and drive through the farm to drop it off.
Goat safari.
And you can park on Washington Lane and bring your tree in yourself. There is a suggested $20 donation for the services of recycling your Christmas decor, which can be paid in cash, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or check, and it is tax deductible. The farm also has a fire pit, hot cocoa for sale, and a petting area, too.
So, a goat safari and a goat petting area.
You can bring the kids by.
I think it would be fun to own a goat.
To feed a tree to a goat?
No, to actually just own one. Like to have
Goats are
enough,
cool.
Enough property to... In fact, I think Chuck wants a goat. He
has some property.
He does. He has a really big yard. And
a big goat yard?
Well, big enough that it could help mow the lawn. I don't know how many goats you would need in order to keep a nice, well-kept lawn.
They don't have opposable thumbs, though. They can't use
No, they use their mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, they eat the grass.
So you can go to phillygoatproject.org.
Sounds cool.
If you need the information. One more City Beat story. And we're going to go with this. Michael Rubin. One of the Sixers owners, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His e-commerce company, Fanatics, has just acquired Topps trading cards.
Wow. I use Fanatics all the time, believe it or not. I get a lot of stuff through those guys.
What do they have?
Like jerseys and stuff. Like my son is a big football fan, so every year he gets he has a new favorite player that he wants a jersey, and I'll get like hats and stuff from them as well.
Industry sources put the deal at roughly $500 million, $500 million.
So I've been trying for years to get Michael Rubin to come to Camp Out for Hunger. He works across the street when he's at Sixers games. He's a really charitable person. And what I've been told by people who know Michael is that you can't go through people to get to Michael. You have to go to him directly. And so right now I'm saying this on the air. Michael Rubin, you should come to Camp Out for Hunger 2022. We would love to have you. I agree with Casey. Fanatics is an awesome company. It's really cool that they acquired Topps because that's a great company. I'm glad to see it continue. They were outside of Scranton forever, and there was chances that Topps was going to close.
Well, by the way, this says this includes only Topps name and sports and entertainment division, not the company's candy and gift cards line. So I guess they do gift cards. I didn't know that.
Or do they mean the actual Topps collector cards?
It says gift cards because it said it bought Topps trading cards.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's trading cards and gift cards.
Yeah, two different kinds.
Fanatics trading card entity is valued at $10 billion.
Isn't it wild that that's still a popular thing?
Yeah.
It's like $1 billion. After a $350 million round of fundraising last September, Rubin called Topps an iconic brand in a statement announcing the move. He said, with trading cards and collectibles being a significant pillar of our long-term plans to become the leading digital sports platform, we're excited to add a leading trading cards company to build out our business.
Proud to announce the debut of Over the Top and Cobra Trading Cards.
Over the Top. Arm wrestling movie.
It's an arm wrestling movie. You would think there's no way that's exciting. You would be right.
I have Rocky IV trading cards, and I believe they were from Topps.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The Topps company. Yeah.
By the way, former Disney chairman Michael Eisner owned Topps, which operated under a private investment firm called Tornante. Eisner called the Topps brand a jewel in the Fanatics portfolio, adding that Rubin is the perfect entrepreneur to move the sports division forward.
So with the trading industry, and we're looking at something right here that Connor called up, the Rocky IV.
It is Topps.
It is Topps.
Yeah, my dad used to sell
$275, Nick.
Yeah, well, all right. My dad used to sell insurance to Topps, so we would get the complete baseball card set every year. I had them for a long time, and then my mom tossed them. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they...
Can you do that? Can you just buy the flat out, here's everything set?
You would get,
all the rookies, everything?
1 through 714 every year or whatever
Any
it
idea
was.
how much something like that would cost?
Well, the basic set actually didn't cost that much. It was a more economic way because you would just buy the entire set, and you had no idea if there were going to be standout cards that year.
Right.
So, but yeah, we would get them every year. Me and my brothers, we were really lucky. And they're based in Duryea, Pennsylvania, just outside of Scranton. And people have been working in the Topps factory their entire careers for a long period of time.
So the Topps candy is like Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, so
And Ring
Tornante will retain Topps gift cards and candy lines, including Bazooka bubble gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was the other one?
Ring Pops and like Push Pops.
Yeah.
Those are all made.
So they have the candy line, too. So he didn't get that. Rubin didn't get that. That continues on.
I think what they got was pretty impressive.
Eisner's company. Yeah, damn straight. So, all right, anyhow, stories from the streets of Philadelphia.
Time for the city beat to end. You've just been informed.
Those were all good.
Yeah, thank you, Marissa Magnata, or like I said, our field reporter who got all those stories together. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment because we have a guest who's going to be in town on Monday night for Monday Night Raw at the Wells Fargo Center. Damian Priest will be up next. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
MMRBQ 2022. Saturday, May 21st at BB&T Pavilion. Starring Disturbed.
Yeah,
but it's something.
You know, I'll tell you, the bigger thing is this is like a movie to be seen with an audience. And the audience it's been playing really well. It's been, it gets big laughs and then people are enjoying it. That to me is what's fun. So I'm psyched to show it tonight.
Allow me to quote The Hollywood Reporter, which says, an ingeniously plotted, tremendously entertaining, and deviously irreverent crowd pleaser.
Well, that's it, yeah.
That's what you want.
So it is playing tonight at the Philadelphia Film Festival. Do you know if there's any tickets available?
I don't know. I think I just saw a tweet that they had released a few more, so you might want to check their website and see.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia.org.
Opening for Thanksgiving. If you can't get, and that's those they wheel out what they believe to be the heavy hitters. For that, and so obviously. Relatively speaking, you're a younger filmmaker.
God bless you, sir.
with the body of work, but. So obviously we're going to talk about the stuff and the Star Wars, universe that you're now in, and now you have your own trilogy that you're responsible for. That has been, and this, if I'm not correct, tell me, so I can start weeping. But I think you have this potential, this new universe that you can create from the ground up. That's in the same environment but removed.
Yeah. That's what's really exciting moving forward because they've said with episode 9 that JJ is doing right now, which I'm so excited for. I cannot wait.
It looks phenomenal.
Oh God, that trailer just knocked me out. So that's going to be. They've said over and over this is going to be the end of kind of this era of the movies.
And I think it's time. Honestly, I love. And I love even the second trilogy, the Lucas trilogy. Certainly, there are issues. Perhaps you've heard some of the buzz about what fans think. I think I commend you for taking on something like that, because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
I love the fans so much. I am a fan. That's the thing. I grew up as a Star Wars fan, and so all of the passion for it. I was in my 20s when the prequels came out, so both sides of the passion for Star Wars I've been plugged into always, and that's what's great about it.
I commend you for agreeing to do it, like because you're such a fan. You're like, did you ever? Was there ever a thought of like, no, I can't do this?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just something that's so deep. You know, everyone is a Star Wars fan who when those first movies came out. If you're like my age, like you saw them when you were like 5 and 6. It's so deep in your bones. It's something you love so dearly. And also the people who make these movies, and the producers and everything, and the talent. They're just the best people on the planet, and everyone is just working from such a pure place of love for what this thing is, you know. And so, no, man, I couldn't, you know.
You had to. You had to let that purity guide. You know, at least you could have control over it.
The only thing you can do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just follow kind of, you know, what you want to do.
So I want to ask you about ownership of movies, because people take the Star Wars universe very seriously. And I'm a Star Wars nerd through and through, but people also confuse opinions and facts all the time. and it bothers me, because if you have an opinion on a movie, that's not necessarily a fact about that movie, but people state them as if they are.
Yeah.
And I loved Last Jedi. There were so many layers to it that I think people are misunderstood, or they walked out of the theater with an opinion, and it's fine for them to have their opinion too. But what's your take on blowback or criticism or whatever? Does it bother you? Does it stick with you, or how do you interpret it?
Well, like I said, I got to come at it from, again, the perspective of being a Star Wars fan my whole life, and realizing that the passion for it, there are two sides to that. You know, the passion's going to land one way for some, and if you don't like something, that passion's going to apply back the other way, and there's no use. There's no, you know, you can't have one without the other, I guess. You know, people feel strongly about this stuff because they care about it so deeply. And people are going to respond to different things. Every fan is looking for something slightly different from a Star Wars movie. There's nothing that's going to...
And that's the general... I was in the theater on opening night for the original Star Wars because I'm an old bastard. and I'd read the paperback book that was that before the movie came out, that had scenes that were not even shot for the movie. It's from Lucas's screenplay.
Yeah.
And the movie was always intended to be a fun homage to the movie serials.
Yeah, it's Buck Rogers.
And that's it.
Yeah, man.
And it was supposed to be loving and fun.
Yeah.
But then as its own myth almost started to weigh it down, and people lost sight of just go have a good time.
Well, also, but the thing is that I feel like there is always an element, because it was that, but then, you know, with Empire, it dug a little bit deeper into the mythic stuff.
And that's one of the, you know.
That was a fish hook that like got us all, you know. Empire really shook it up from A New Hope in every single way. I mean, not just the big I am your father twist, but tonally, and also in terms of how deep it went, in terms of digging into that kind of deeper mythological stuff, you know, the psychological stuff. So
and a classic second act.
Oh my God,
it doesn't
100%.
end happy,
and really turns everything up onto its head, and then in a way that can be really satisfyingly resolved in the third one. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes. Well, you did some things in this movie that that we hadn't seen in any of the previous 7 movies, I should say. And one of them was using light speed as a weapon.
Well, although the first, I mean, in A New Hope, the first time they talk about light speed, what's the context they're talking about? And they're talking about you got to do your calculations right, or you'll run into something, and then it'll be a big mess.
But the blowback on that, and you know, the fans were like,
but I never quite understood that, because the thing is, that was the context that it was introduced in. So it's not like it physically can't happen. So the only argument I've really heard is we don't want to think about the fact that it can happen, because that complicates how we have to think about war in this world.
You would have to make calculations, and you had like shields and things exactly for that. But I mean, it's your toy. You run with it. It's like because no. So the 8-foot talking carpet, that's real. Relax.
I mean, it has to make sense within the context of the world.
And
but I feel like, you know, that I can stand behind. You know.
No, it was a mother effer of a scene.
Yeah, that scene. Come on.
It was, and the effects and all. It was great.
Speaking of fans, real quick, and I know you guys all have questions. Everybody's got their hands raised here. But now, I haven't gone back and watched The Last Jedi in a little while. But is that I think fans had a bunch of fun with the fight scene where Kylo and Ray. You know what I'm talking about? They used the different pieces of music. Did you happen to see those?
Yeah, that was really fun. Everyone started remixing it to different songs.
Oh, our own Nick Murphy, who I introduced you to.
Yeah.
He did a whole.
He did like a dozen of them.
He did a whole album. Some funny ones and some other ones that tonally absolutely made sense.
I love it.
I think he might have even used Firework from Katy Perry.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
I totally see that.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a blast, man.
You gotta love that fans are having.
Well, that's what I mean. They take it and they make it their own. Whether it's that or fan fiction or fan art or people just take this stuff so personally. That's what's great about it.
In A New Hope, Luke meets Leia via a hologram, and in The Last Jedi, Luke says goodbye to Leia via a hologram. Was that your idea?
Yeah, man. You got. I mean, the symmetry. You're always looking for symmetry. Wow. If you can hit that sweet spot with symmetry, so that even if you don't, the first time you watch a movie, you aren't thinking of it in those terms. When you step back and take a look at the whole thing laid out, you're like, oh, this rhymes with this, and this it bookends this. Especially with something like Star Wars, you're always searching for those, those things to lay in there.
Thank you for answering questions about it, because I know you're here to talk about Knives Out, and I can't wait to see that movie as well. But while we have a director of one of the Star Wars movies in the studio,
about Star Wars.
We lavish love on Knives Out as well. But I also have to ask you, Looper is an amazing film, and it also speaks to your ability to add. I remember watching that and go, wow, this is a really cool conceit. I'm thinking of has a Harlan Ellison, Philip K. Dick sort of vibe to it. It's cool. It's jumping around. And then it gets you emotionally too, and when you're and that's something that I think when you can do that in all this stuff where you can go down one path and phone it in, and then it becomes something where it gets you viscerally with the kid and what his future will be and how things have to be right. That to me was just such an amazing. And I don't want to give it away if you've never seen it. You need to see Looper if you've never seen it. But working with Bruce Willis and working with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who you worked with in Brick as well, you start to build an ensemble of people you go to, there are people that are comfortable. Who do you consider your go-to, people now?
Well, I haven't worked with him for a few movies, but Joe Gordon-Levitt is one of my good friends.
Awesome,
and he's so good, man. Yeah. He's such a good person. He's such a lovely, wonderful guy. And I managed even this Last Jedi. He wasn't. We got him in there as a voice, alien voice.
Okay, I was
Knives
wondering.
Out. We had to get him in there as a voice too.
Oh, that's
because
great.
He wasn't available. So you keep your ears peeled. He's in there. So
You guys are friends.
Yeah, we're buddies.
Okay, because he's in a scene of a movie. It's one of my favorite theatrical scenes ever, and it's a movie called 500 Days of Summer.
Oh yeah,
and it's when the Hall & Oates song comes on. To me, and there's a Han Solo thing in it as well. But I would love to meet that guy. He is a good friend
He's
of yours.
He's a sweetheart, man. He is so cool.
Will you tell him that I love him?
Let's call him right now. Let's get him on speaker.
Whenever I hear that song, I bounce around like he does when he's walking down the street. Like I want to do what he did in that movie.
Yeah, no, we made the very first movie I made was called Brick. It was like a weird high school noir, and he was in it
twice today. I haven't seen it.
Oh well.
Oh, did you shoot that at the high school you went to?
I did. Yeah. I shot at San Clemente High School down in Orange County.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's got to be cool to come back with a film crew to the school that you.
It was cool, but we were really low budget. We were like micro budget with that movie.
Still.
So I think we were more annoying to them. I'm surprised that they didn't kick us out before we were done filming.
Well, Knives Out, honestly, is I cannot wait to see it. It looks phenomenal, and so I assume, have you done the full premiere route yet, or is where this is one cog in the premiere?
Well, Philly is not a cog.
I know.
This is the main engine of the whole tour.
Thank you for saying that.
We premiered at Toronto, and I just came from the Chicago Film Festival, and we're here tonight, and I'm psyched to see it with like I said, man, this is a crowd movie. This is a crowd-pleasing movie. It's so much fun to be in the theater when a big crowd is watching this.
Love it.
Can I ask what the title refers to, or is it a plot point that we need to wait for?
No, sort of. There are knives in it, but the Radiohead song is what I kind of stuck it in my head years ago. Amnesiac, I think it's on, and Knives Out. Okay. And so that phrase just always seemed like a cool turn of phrase to me. It seemed like a good murder mystery.
To me, it always indicates.
And the knives are out.
Your knives are out. Your knives are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's got it. Yeah.
Which definitely applies to the family in this movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick? I just want to ask you, because I know that you do have your fingerprint on the Breaking Bad universe, and you directed a couple of episodes of the final season.
Yeah.
I watched El Camino, and then I was like, oh, God, I got to go back and watch the final 2 seasons. So I did that, and then I watched El Camino again. So you directed Ozymandias, and I got to ask, is that the episode where Walt calls Skylar and has the phone conversation with her?
Yeah.
That is like some of the finest acting I've ever witnessed in my entire life, because he is saying things to her
without saying them.
But he's also on like, so what you're hearing through the phone is what he's saying, but emotionally he's not saying those words. And like, so can you explain that better than what I just said?
No, you put it just beautifully, man.
Okay.
And Cranston, I mean, that's the explanation. It's one word. It's Cranston. That dude is just
Cranston.
So you didn't have anything to do with that?
No, man. No, honestly, you show up and you do your work as a director, which is on set to be an audience for the actor, and so you watch it. If you feel something, you say it to them. If you feel, try this, try that. The truth is, though, especially at Breaking Bad, I mean, the writing is so good, those actors. As a director, it makes your job so easy. You get to show up on set and just like roll with it and try and maximize it.
Real quick, how many takes for that particular scene?
I don't know. I think it was freezing that night, so I don't think many. I think it was maybe 3 or 4. And then Anna Gunn, Skylar's side of the call. It's interesting because I remember with Yoda, with Mark and Frank Oz, Mark Hamill and Frank Oz.
Yeah.
Frank telling me, everyone talks about the expressiveness of the puppet and the performance of Yoda, and he said 90% of it is Mark believing, listening.
Yeah, and I can believe that. Yeah,
and it's a weird analogy, but what Anna is doing on the other side, the amount of that call where we're on her face and hearing her realize what her husband is doing, that's as much of the scene as.
Okay, and for that, was she in the next room? Was she actually on the phone with him while he was doing it, or were you doing a playback? Or?
No, we had him there, so he was. Obviously, we shot them completely separately, but then we have both, and vice versa. She was on set, kind of on the phone with him there, for his side of it, and then we were in the house shooting. It was a totally different day, but he was there for her side of it, so they were both there for each other.
Okay,
that's wild. And by the way, you should probably put some ointment on those fanboy burns you just got.
Yeah. Those could get infected.
That's all right. I'm scabbed over. It's all right. I got the scabs.
All right. Thank you very much, Marissa. So Monday Night Raw doesn't seem like this, but hasn't been in Philly for 3 years.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
like an every year stop for sure.
Perennial. Philadelphia loves, the whole Raw event and all the wrestling.
So, obviously, there's a lot of excitement around this Monday night's event, which is really cool. And we are excited to have our next guest on the line. And I was excited to play this music. I think it sounds really cool. He will be in attendance for the event on Monday night. He is the Archer of Infamy. Please welcome Damian Priest to our show this morning. What's up,
everybody?
How you doing, Damian?
What's going on, man?
Where are you today, man? So you guys travel all over the world.
Today, let me think. I'm in Florida today.
Florida today. So Monday Night Raw coming back to Philly. This is a great wrestling town, man. People, you can feel the excitement. I've gone to a few Monday Night Raw events, and I'm telling you, it's a spectacle.
I'm losing your audio.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Ooh, I can't hear you now.
Damn it. We might have to switch to the phone.
We'll tweak around with some wires and juggle some things here and see if you can hear.
Yeah, I can barely hear you guys.
Barely. All right.
Let me do this.
Hold on a second. We're going to reset.
There we go.
Is
that better?
All right.
Yeah.
Like that. All right. So anyhow, man, I was saying Philly's a great wrestling town. There's the fans go crazy. It always sells out. It's always, to the rafters full. But you can feel it. You've wrestled here in Philly before, have you not?
Yes. I mean, I used to live, 10 minutes from that arena. I trained at the Monster Factory, which is right there in Paulsboro, New Jersey, which is right across the bridge. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time in that area. So I love me some Philly. The crowds there. Philadelphia is definitely one of the best crowds that we always get the chance to perform in front of. So for us, we're always extra hyped up and excited to perform in front of those crowds. So Philly, we got a lot of love from Philly.
So you talk about the Paulsboro, the Monster Factory, and I was talking to Preston, talking about you coming on. The amount of smaller divisions and if you're a wrestler working your way up through the different divisions, and there's a Japanese what was it, the one that you wrestled for, NXT, all these different. There's just a ton of things to work your way through. Is that still the case right now? Because it seemed for the longest time that you'd call up any wrestler and they had about 30 or 40 credits of all of these in their background, that they sort of worked this circuit to get to the WWE. Is that your story as well?
Yeah, I mean, I was an overnight 15-year success, I wrestled, we call them the indies, independent wrestling.
That's it, yeah.
You're wrestling all these, like you said, all these small markets and little territories, and basically, to little to no money, just trying to get experience, trying to getting your name out there. And they're all over. They're still around. Obviously, with the pandemic and everything, a lot of them shut down, and they're not as up and running as they were, but they're still out there.
Okay.
And very much a thing. And I came from that. And, like you could look back, and if I could change things and maybe make it earlier. But nah, man, the stories I have and the friendships I've made and the experiences and all the knowledge, I think it is what got me here. So, it's for me, I love that I took that path and journey, and especially in the Northeast, from New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia area. It is still to this day the #1 wrestling area in this country. That's great. For me to be a part of that scene, it's awesome.
Damien, what was it like? What did your family think when you said you wanted to get into wrestling?
Yeah, not big fans.
Well, your dad is a martial artist, is he not?
Yeah, so for him, he was like, man. And UFC at the time wasn't a thing, though. So UFC was like in its infancy. They were just starting off. So, I used to fight first. And then, when we stopped and then I chose to do, professional wrestling, he was kind of like, okay, I'll support you. But he didn't really want me to do it. Same thing with my mom and everybody. They would support me, but they didn't really want to, because they wanted me to do something else. They'd rather I become a cop or a lawyer or a doctor, like any other parents. They want that type of life for their kids. I always loved the aspect of entertainment and then a little bit of violence. So this is perfect for me.
Well, you had so correct me if I'm wrong, but you had 2 national championships that you won in, and what is it? It's Japanese karate. Is that what you're?
Yes, Goju cut out there.
Okay, and so I can see where they're thinking that's more a pure thing. But honestly, if you're obviously charismatic and you the fans love you, it's hard to look at the success of other people, who've come from the world of wrestling and in films and so on and so forth. Now I assume that they see your trajectory and your choice was the right way to go. Correct, or are they still giving you crap for it?
Oh, no. Yeah. Now, like they're cool. Yeah. Like they're like, hey, look, I'm sorry. Like you proved us wrong. Like you lived your dream, and that was the thing for me, when I made that switch, because for years I wanted to make it, but I just didn't know what I needed to do. I just kind of just went through the motions of what I thought I should do or what everybody else thought, instead of just working my hardest for my own dream. And until I committed to that, and, because nobody's going to work for ourselves, we got to do that. And once I committed to that, everything just started to fall in place. And here I am today. So they recognize that. And it's pretty cool now. They're all obviously super proud and, can you talk to this person? Can you give me a call? Can we FaceTime so we can talk to somebody?
Damien, when this wrestling thing eventually goes into your past, I think you've got a career as a movie voiceover guy, the movie trailer guy. The pipe's on you, as we say in the business, man.
I'll be honest. I would love to do like animated characters, especially like superhero stuff. I would love to do that. Yeah, that would be cool.
So listen, you were obviously you weren't born Damian Priest. Damian Priest is a character that you became. But I have a question about your tattoos, because do the tattoos belong to Damian Priest or do they belong to Luis Martinez?
I think it's a combination, and I say that because when we created Damian Priest, and I remember it was with Triple H, and we were talking about how the presentation was going to be, and it was basically, and he was very adamant. He goes, "But I want you." He goes, "I want this guy. The name is cool. It represents rock star and all this." He goes, "But the guy I want to see on TV is the guy that I'm talking to. You know, this guy, the cool guy, like the guy that likes doing stuff and just has this way about him that you know, that we're, you know, he was like, I like you. He goes, so this is what I want people to see. So I was like, okay. And it took me a while to know how to be myself on TV because it's weird. Like I am me.
Right.
But then you have this idea of what you think you are. So then you try to be that, which is, man, it's mind-boggling. But so the tattoos are very much me, but I am both. I am Damian Priest. Like, while I am Luis, obviously that's my real name. But I to this day, like, I really believe, like, Damian Priest, like what you see on TV is very close to me. The way I walk, the way I smile, the way, you know, just the way I act, the way I love what I do, that's real. So the tattoos are a combination because they're meant for both of us.
Damian, I want to ask you, you got a few different connections into the musical world, and you ended up, you are buddies with Bad Bunny, and you guys worked together at WrestleMania this year. How did that happen? If people don't know, Bad Bunny's a Puerto Rican artist, singer, rapper, and so I think you guys have been friends for a while, but then to end up wrestling together, that, I don't know, it seemed kind of shocking.
So it's funny because obviously I'm, you know, a big rock, heavy metal guy. So when this got presented, and I'll tell you this one because this is a funny story. Triple H comes up to me and you know, he's like, hey, so, you know, you're going to debut on Monday at the Royal Rumble, and then, you know, you're going to stay on Monday Night Raw. This is when I was moving from NXT to Raw. You know, you're getting called up. So he goes, and they're going to pair you with Bad Bunny. I mean, teaming with Bad Bunny. And in my head, I looked at him and I was confused, and I said, how could you name a wrestler Bad Bunny when there's an artist called Bad Bunny?
He can't do that.
And he just looked at me like I was so stupid. And he was like, that is the Bad Bunny. And I was like, oh. I was like, I mean, that's cool. I mean, he's a huge worldwide Latin artist. I mean, he's the biggest Latin artist like at the moment. So, I mean, breaking records with, you know, just awards that he's won and everything. So, and then we met literally that same day. He told me, this is before the Royal Rumble. This is in January last year. And it's like instantly we became friends. We started talking. We were raised in the same town in Puerto Rico. I have a family member that used to be his brother's elementary school teacher. Like we had so much in common. And then we just started talking. We became cool. And then, you know, our first deal in front of everybody was at the Royal Rumble when he came out and jumped on Miz and Morrison, and you know, then we hugged and whatnot. And then from there on, we were together every day on TV. It was a trip because obviously, you know, celebrities in wrestling are usually they're there to promote something and then they leave right away. They don't really care. But he was a huge fan. So he literally moved to Florida for months to train at the Performance Center just to make sure that he didn't look stupid. Like he took this really serious. He trained. He was at 5 days a week. He was in rings and took his licks and took his bumps and, you know, and he made something special out of a moment that he could have just taken it lightly, and he didn't. And I love that we got to team at WrestleMania, huge moment, and and then we've remained friends ever since.
That's cool.
It got great coverage. I remember it's kind of people were like, holy crap, the guy really, he's really doing it. You know, like he wasn't phoning it in, which is very cool. I wanted to ask you, with obviously, you know, working the circuit and working your way up and doing all that, here you are. WWE, you've got all of this going on, but you've been very candid about it in your past. You know, you were living on the streets for a little bit. You that sort of climb up where you have to, and I think we all hit that point. And I know clearly in my life where I had that. All right, I've got to be a torpedo. I've got to go all in. And your trajectory was kind of, you had an epiphany moment, right? You were working as a bouncer. Was that it?
Yeah, I worked clubs, bars, you know, whether I was managing or I would get, you know, serving gigs, whatever I could just to, you know, support this living that I wanted of wrestling. Literally, I was working to support that because there wasn't much more left after that. I would spend more money to wrestle than I made.
Yeah.
And even when I lived in, you know, in the Jersey area, that like in that area by you guys, I remember I lived with my girlfriend at the time, and we struggled. Like, you know, she had a job, but she had kids, and we literally would do our food shopping at Dollar Tree, you know, and she was very supportive up until, you know, like finally, like I said, it was when I decided to give it my all, then little by little, things started falling into place. Oh, you're going to get better opportunities. You're going to get paid this much. And I was like, oh, wow. And then this opportunity, and oh, wow. And then you just keep on, and then this ball just kept on rolling. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep going with it, and little by little. And even WWE at the time, it's funny because in 2015, I had a tryout. And, they told me there's nothing for you here right now. And I was disappointed, but I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing my thing. And I started working for another company. And then I tried again a few years later and just contacted them. Hey, anything? No, nothing for you. The next year, hey, nothing for you. So I was like, well, I guess WWE is not going to be a thing for me. And, I'm okay with it. I changed my life. I'm a positive person now and just going to continue working hard at what I do. And as long as I'm happy, I'm good. Hey, and then they called me.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'm curious when you are working your way up through, like you said, in the Indies, did you ever see anybody who was like just had no business attempting to be a professional wrestler? I mean,
yeah, just about every day.
Really? I'm imagining like a real puny, skinny guy's like, dude, what are you doing, man?
I mean, no, the best, they're usually not in shape, but then the best is like there's not an ounce of athleticism in their body. Like they've never even watched a sport, put it that way. They don't know how to run. Like they struggle to just run, like to put one foot in front of the other. It just looks awkward. And then it's like, hey, what do you want to do in this business? They're like, I just want to take it as far as I can. And it's kind of like, I think you already have.
You're there. I've got good news. You're there.
But listen,
I don't want to tell people not to. Look, I'm the example. I don't want to tell people not to chase their dreams, but I'm also a realist.
Yeah, sometimes you got to break it to them. Man.
Hey, listen, for every Undertaker, there's a pallbearer. You know what I mean? So maybe Undertaker's not part of
some of the smaller guys. Like you remember Mysterio, dude. I'm watching that guy. I was like, whoa, man.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely right. Mysterio's still going strong. He'll be there this Monday as well. And he could still do things that I can only dream of.
Right.
He's incredible. So, yes, the size doesn't matter. It's everything else that comes with it. And, there's just, people are born to do things or not do things. And there's a part of me that it always gets entertained watching the people who are not born for it try.
Yeah. Who's maybe the best you've ever seen at the spiel, at the pose, at the getting on the mic and poking and all that? Who do you think is the GOAT in that regard?
Oh, on the mic, The Rock, hands down. I mean,
okay.
Like to me, watching The Rock. There was never a time that you weren't entertained. Like he came out, you're glued to that TV. Like people who don't watch wrestling, like I remember my family the music would hit. If you smell, my dad could kind of walk over because he wants to see what he's going to say because he always makes them laugh. Yeah. That to me is, man, he's the bar. Like when it comes to handling the mic.
I mean, here he is. He's, I think, still the highest earning star in Hollywood. Did you watch any of his the sitcom that was based on his life a little bit? It was on NBC. And it was a great peek in because they had these actors playing these iconic wrestlers of when his father was at the height of his game.
Yes, I love that. That was probably my favorite part of the show was getting like that sneak peek into like that era and seeing like, I know there were actors playing the characters, but in the moment I'm invested like it's them. And that was fantastic. They're very cool. I'm a huge Rock fan. Like just came from nothing, obviously he's built up an empire that's, I don't see how anybody could even come close to matching it, but that guy's an inspiration. Like I kind of model a lot of things I do sometimes after that, like just keep working hard, just put your head down and just move forward and one foot in front of the other. Just keep working hard. Be the hardest worker in the room and that mentality. And man, that guy's achieved so much that it's like, I think you won, man. You won at life. Take a day off.
You know what? All of you guys, we've talked about this time and time again when we've had any of the wrestlers, anybody associated with the WWE come in. First off, super fan friendly, which we really love. That's a key thing. And then be charismatic, smart, always conversive, all of that. And so you can see why Hollywood eventually is embracing your people in your profession. I wanted to ask you. So you're 6'5"?
6'5".
Right. So you're a big guy. You're on the larger size of the wrestlers currently wrestling today. But there was a time were you like really overweight at one time? I find that very hard to believe when I see what I'm seeing right now. But was that the case?
I lost about, I don't know, like 160 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah, this is again part of me just kind of coasting and just not caring and just thinking everything was going to get handed to me. And then it wasn't until I just took everything seriously and, you know, had to lose all this weight and get in shape. And I was like, oh, wow, this sucks. You know?
It does.
It does. Speaking of The Rock, what movie is that with him and Kevin Hart? When he goes, oh man, how did you get to in such great shape? Oh, it's real simple. I just worked out for 6 days or 6 hours a day for
20 years.
20 years.
That's a good one. Yeah, with unicorn. Yes, that's a good one. That's a funny one. Yeah, basically that. It's like, oh yeah, I just stopped eating.
Almonds.
Nice. Well, Damian, what's on the schedule for this coming Monday in Philly? Any matches you want to highlight, or what are you going to be doing?
I mean, obviously Brock Lesnar is a part of Monday Night Raw now, being the WWE champion. So, he's going to be in there, and he's a wild card. That guy, you never know what's going to happen.
He's wild to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, I mean, it's wild to just see him walking in the locker room area and just the hallways. It's just he's a hell of a presence. Nice. And obviously the rest of you got RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle, and just all the stars that are on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, I'm going to be there with my United States Championship. I like to do these open challenges from time to time and just give an opportunity to whoever wants it. Whoever wants to come get it, here it is. Here's your shot. So there's always a chance of one of those. But this is the second Raw of the year. We're coming in hot, and it's Philly. Everybody's gonna be amped up. So like the fans, expect what you should expect. Us giving you the best show that we can.
And you do. I've seen it.
I have as well.
It's amazing, man.
And Preston, when you see the people who are reticent or like, I don't know, and then they go and it's like, holy hell!
There's never a moment where things don't stop.
Right.
It is constant. Even when there's not a match going on, there is something happening that keeps you engaged throughout the whole night. It's hard to find time to go to the bathroom or something like that. I kid you not, man. It's awesome. Yeah.
No, you're correct. It's a difference. Like watching it on TV is one thing, but live event, like being there live, and I say this for a lot of things, but especially in our business and the WWE, events, it's just so interactive with the fans too. Like in between, like you said, in between, like even during commercial breaks, like for the fans in attendance, there's always something going on for them.
Yeah, and watch out for the
experience. It's pretty cool.
And watch out for the explosions. They scare the living hell out of you. There's always some kind of explosions. Wow. All right, Damian, thanks for checking in, man. Enjoy Monday night in Philly. We appreciate it, bud.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, Damian Priest.
Every one of them are great, right?
Archer of Infamy. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They put on a show. It's what they do. It's sports entertainment, and they know what they're doing. You know what? We got some tickets that we can give away. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. So I tell you what, we'll take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR, and we will give you a pair of tickets, 215-263-WMMR. And yeah, Brock Lesnar is going to be there live. Tickets on sale now at Wells Fargo Center, Philly.com. By the way, what you looking for?
Well, also, if you're not able to get through now, we do have a secret text word today.
Yeah, so we're going to be giving those away as well.
Did I tell you that the one time I took my nephews to see Raw, and this was up in New York, and I was through the radio station I was working at the time. I got seats right by the ring.
Ooh.
And it was their birthday, they're twins. They were having a phenomenal time. I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, I was walking through a brawl. Walking through a brawl.
A professional
The Undertaker.
brawl?
Oh yeah,
that's
all
great.
around me. I'm like, I just want.
That's the best.
It was hilarious.
We had really good seats one year and went back later, and we DVR'd it and watched ourselves on TV. It was really cool.
It's going to be a really busy weekend in South Philly because Sixers play at the Wells Fargo Center on Friday night. The Wings play Saturday afternoon. Wings play, I think, at noon. Flyers play Saturday night. Eagles play Saturday night in South Philly, and then WWE on Monday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. We were talking about taking the subway.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Even the subway after Eagles games now is nearly impossible to get on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you walk down there, I'll usually wait for at least 3 And this is also after I go to Live Casino. I go to Live Casino, hang out there for a couple of drinks,
hours, yeah.
and then I go over to the subway and it's still packed.
No.
It always, you talk about that, it always reminds me of the footage of when they were, heading on their way to the Super Bowl. The Eagles and the
dude
guys
that was running.
Yeah,
Hit the
runs
pillar.
right into the.
That was the best.
Oh, it's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, that guy had his moment.
He
in the
had his
sun there
15
for a little
minutes.
while.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Do we have a couple minutes still?
Yeah,
or should we take a
couple.
break? I know we have a moment or two, and I want to. Pierre, is Pierre coming back today? Do we know yet?
He's supposed to, but we're not 100% sure.
Okay, we'll see in a moment. But I didn't want to let this story get too far away. You know, there were all those flight delays.
Yes.
You know, we talked about the traffic jam earlier this morning that was in Virginia. And that snow also caused all kinds of delays on Monday, and there were thousands of flights that were, canceled and all that stuff.
Right.
And I saw this quick story, little bit of information for you, because I've never had a flight canceled on me before.
I have many times.
I've had flights delayed a little bit and just kind of deal with it. But there is, you can get compensation, and you can actually kind of negotiate. You can negotiate a little bit with the airlines. And there was a report that was done about this. So let me see here. Who came up with this? There's no limit to the amount of money or vouchers that the airline is able to offer, meaning it is well within your rights to negotiate. This is according to a TikTok user and lawyer. Her name is Erica Kohlberg.
I saw this girl the other day.
Okay. What was it pertaining to this?
Yes.
Okay. She said, if you find yourself bumped from a flight and are subsequently subjected to a 1 to 2 hour delay or 1 to 4 hour delay for international flights, you are automatically entitled to as much as 4 times the cost of your fare one way, even if you're rebooked.
So 1 to 2 hour delay will get you that?
Mm-hmm.
I bet on far lengthier delays.
Though, per transportation.gov, airlines may limit the compensation to $775 if 200% of the one-way fare is higher than $775.
I'm lost.
Whatever. I'm lost on that, too.
I'd probably be paying them.
But if the delay is longer than 2 hours, upwards of 4 hours for an international flight, that figure increases to 8 times the cost of your one-way flight.
So is this an industry standard, or does it go airline by airline?
It's a good question. I don't really know that.
Huh.
But you can apparently, and of course, the key, I think, to all of this is to be pleasant while you're doing this.
Right.
And timing.
negotiate.
Use the word seasucker a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And timing. You're not going to do it in line at the gate right there while everybody's trying to book for other flights.
So it should happen later on?
I don't know the answer to that, but
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not going to have time to negotiate with somebody while you're standing there and there's 20 people in line behind you.
Right. When you and Kathy had your fiasco in Chicago, have you done anything since then?
No, and this reminded me of that. And technically, our flight was still never canceled. It just never happened. Like, they just kept delaying it and delaying
You
it and
guys got
delaying
ghosted.
it. We got ghosted. We got ghosted by American Airlines.
They'll pull tricks like that so that they don't have to list it as being canceled.
Yeah.
If there's no formal declaration, that's why a lot of times, it behooves them to pull away from the gate and sit on the tarmac because by the records, they've departed on time.
Wow.
But did you get vouchers or anything?
No, and Nick, so I'm glad, Preston, that you brought this up because it reminded me that I have to call them. But after all of these delays yesterday, I don't have 3 hours to just sit on the phone and wait.
And do you normally default to, I never think of things like this. I'm probably owed something for this. I never do.
No,
I
me either.
bemoan my predicament and I just move on.
I'm just like, this is part of travel. This is there are unforeseen things that take place. Now, if there's something really, really important, if you've got a family event, a funeral, whatever, a surgery or some kind of thing that's like that, I might raise a stink about it.
I'm a surgeon.
But I never. I'm just like, look, it's flying, it's travel, and sometimes
where's the bathroom?
Delays happen.
Okay, so speaking of negotiation, because I was just thinking of this recently, do you think, or do you know if I can negotiate my gym membership price? Because I am paying a lot of money to go to my gym right now, and I can. What I was thinking is
bring examples of another place that has a different price. Sometimes businesses will they'll play ball with you.
American Airlines, go into your gym and say, American Airlines is offering me all this.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering.
And they will bring me to an entirely different state and country.
If I went
What are you doing?
If I went to my gym and I said, hey, here's the deal. Like, this is what I'm paying. This is what I could pay over at this place. Your options as a business are you can either lose all of my money or only lose half of my money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't, but I'm just not good at that.
I think
I'm not good at confrontation.
Go in what you need. I think it's always part of the deal. You don't even have to have anything in it. Go sit at their desk, have a briefcase.
Yes.
Open it up. So the back of the briefcase faces them, and pretend like you're looking down at something, and then you say, "Well, my records show."
But Kathy is made for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like she'll go, let me handle this.
Yeah.
And then she'll go in and start to do it. I'm not any good at it.
Yeah, it's all about your tactics. Like, you can go and you can talk to the person. The answer is always no unless you ask, right? So you can talk to that person, and then if that person at the desk says no, you can say, let me speak with your manager, and let me talk to your manager about it. And there might be, whether it's, maybe they don't give you discounted now, maybe they say, hey, we do have this offer where we'll give you 3 months free, and then you start paying after that. Or
They
something
also,
like that.
9 times out of 10, any company worth a damn that has or has been in business for a while has a, though they don't reveal it overtly, they have a protocol for this and what they would do in these situations and these packages that they have at the ready to offer people who ask for things, you know, because they've been inconvenienced.
But like the person at the gate is not necessarily going to be able to help you unless you break out your wallet and go say, have you heard of Mr. George Washington before?
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've got his cousin.
Maybe Mr. Lincoln. I don't know.
I've got other notables
Now
who
we're
are
going
on
too
these
far.
little round coins.
But yes, I've never been.
Do you
good
know
at-
Abraham Lincoln by any chance?
I've never been. I've never. I always feel like I'm out of place if I'm going, well, so and so, you know, this place is offering me that. Can you guys match it? But it's fairly standard, I think.
Chances
right?
are they need your business more than you need their service, right? And they know that. And so if you are willing to walk away, it really depends on what they're willing to do to keep you.
Pick your level,
And
exactly.
I think that process, anytime I buy a car, you can get a car anywhere. I like being loyal to a certain brand. I like being loyal to a certain dealer. But they need my business more than I need that car.
Right.
How about subscription services?
Like
they're
what?
a bit like cable television. You know,
I walked away from cable years ago, and I have zero regrets. Although I'm probably paying for all the streaming services what I used to pay for cable. But yeah, I mean,
but we've negotiated that before.
They're always everything with those people is negotiable.
Yeah,
I mean it's a dirty little secret. But if you call up and say, "Hey, I'm going to take my business to Plan B," they will offer you like an introductory offer for another 2 years or whatever. They want to keep your business.
The inquiry is all part of it. Just to simply say, and again, the way you approach.
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice I'm paying this. Is there something that we can do? And more often than not, instead of like, I look tore up with the belt that I am out of my freaking mind. You know, you want to come in a little bit more. I've been a long-time customer.
Right.
It also helps if you pay your bills and things like that.
Phone services, stuff like that. You know, phone plans. I think you can, if you've been doing it for a long time, you can say, hey, look, I've been a
Pornhub member for 10 years
Come
now.
on now.
Yeah.
Cut me a break here.
Premium package.
Yeah. But anyhow, I didn't know that about the planes.
I fell down a hole watching this girl on TikTok the other day. And Casey, I think you should follow her. And there's people like this. This is a new trend where these people tell you about kind of these loopholes or behind the scenes things. So I'm watching her now, and she goes to a store and says, can I have 50% off? And they're like, we don't offer that. And she said, oh, well, you have a birthday discount. And my birthday was 2 weeks ago. So can I use your discount? So there's little things like that. She said getting Black Friday deals. If you buy something online and then the price online goes down within 30 days, you can get the refund. So there's going to be little things like that. It just takes
Wouldn't think of that.
time,
Yeah.
and you have to decide, is your time worth the money you're saving?
Right.
To
in
do
this
that,
effort?
yeah, exactly.
So that's what it comes down to.
All right. Well, if you do get delayed, and unless it's, and somebody had texted in talking about the flights, if it's a blanket weather thing, you know, like all of a sudden a foot of snow comes down, you might have a little less of a leg to stand on. But if there are delays and they're not really saying why, you know, delays in this,
and they don't want to be
cause a delay
forthcoming.
in that one, and so on. But anyhow,
I understand there's a weather condition, but my gym gives me a towel when I go in.
Yes.
Is it a warm
Do you
towel?
have a towel?
Yeah. All right, we should take a break because I got some bizarre file stories I want to get to you, so we will do that in just a moment. Hang in there. We'll be back in a second. right, thank you very much, Ryan Johnson. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Now, let's do the B5.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, so let's start with this. Smashing Pumpkins going to kick off their Bright No So Shiny reunion tour in July, and the band's Billy Corgan has now shared a proposed list of songs.
Are you doing
Music news?
Son of a bitch.
That's amazing.
I was thinking,
I thought it was maybe
weird happen at the music news, or
grab the wrong folder.
Maybe he found a king cobra in his car or something, or.
Look, I'm just on autopilot right now. Okay?
That's exactly what it is, right?
You're at home right now watching The Walking Dead, aren't you?
I am. I haven't seen that episode yet, damn it. Oh, man.
That was great. Thank you. Hey, just sneak preview, guys.
I love the music, though. That wouldn't be a tip-off.
It didn't even register with me at all. A man dubbed America's most wanted deadbeat dad.
Let's just call him Billy Corgan.
Has been arrested.
There were a number of missed calls in my life that actually led to opportunities, and you always have to keep your radar open to the fact that there are things in play that you haven't even seen yet that will reveal themselves to you. You just have to be receptive to it.
It all starts with this girl giving me the clap.
The clap.
That's where it started.
You were saved by a social disease.
It all starts with that.
All right, so tell.
This girl gave me the clap. I dated her for 5 years. She was my girlfriend. She slept with my best friend, and then she gave me the clap. I remember going to the doctor, and he was like, "Yo, she's a hoe." By the way, this is
Is that a medical term?
No, this is. He used the more formal RE. I don't know if you can say it on WHORE. I don't know if you can say that on.
Whore.
Yeah. Like an idiot, I just spelled it.
Yeah.
Like you can't spell it. So he was like, "Your girlfriend's a whore," and I was like, "What?" By the way, this is when you thought doctors were like older. He's probably just 27 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's just a kid,
dude.
And he was like, she's a whore, man. And he said, I go, no, you got that wrong. He goes, let me ask you a question. When you go to a bar, do you and your junk split up to cover more territory? And I was like, excuse me? And he goes, do you? And I said, no. And he goes, then I'm telling you right now, if you're telling me you haven't slept with anyone else, just her, she gave it to you. She's a whore. She's sleeping around. That's how you get it. You just sleep around.
Yeah.
Oh my
And I was like, that's impossible. I want the test. And he was like, I can just give you the medicine. You don't need the test. And I went, no, I don't. I must not have it. She's not a whore. And he's like, all right, I'll give you the test. Q-tip.
Yep.
Yes. I remember him saying, brace yourself. And I held on to the thing, and he did it. And I was like, she's a whore. She's a whore. And then I went to her, and I confronted her. And I said, yo, I have the clap. You gave it to me. And she's like, no, that's impossible. And then I said what the doctor said. Let me tell you something. When I go to the bar, me and my junk don't split up to cover more territory, okay? And so, but if that girl hadn't done that, because I told that girl I wanted to be a comedian. I laid in bed the morning of the Miami-Florida State game, and I said, I think I want to be a comedian. Because right after Russia, I'd gone to Europe, and I backpacked, and I ran into a group called The State. I ran into them in Greece. We all partied in Greece, and I met them, and I said, how do I get into comedy? And David Wayne said, just write all the time, write down jokes. Anything funny, write it down. And that whole summer, I said, I was funny, traveling, everyone liked me, thought I could make people laugh, and I was like, I'm going to be a comedian. Came home, first week back, have sex with her, laying in bed, Florida State, Miami game. I say, I think I want to be a comedian. And she was an actress, still is. And she was like...
Not somebody we would know, is it?
No.
Okay. Regional theater, stuff like that?
Yeah. And so
that's what we're calling porn these days.
She said, she goes, oh, honey, you're stupid funny. You're not smart funny. To be a comedian, you have to be smart funny, and you're stupid funny.
Wow.
So don't, you
And
cannot
this is from the whore.
This is from the whore.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Never tell anyone your dreams. I get the clap. I then break up with her over the period of you know how those breakups go over 6 months. Yeah. And then I start dating this girl who's, by the way, I love her, but just an oblivious idiot. Yeah. Like I told her I want to be a comedian. She's like, you should do it. Invest everything in it. Why wouldn't you? Right? Oh my God. And I just ran into her last week in wherever I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's like, I'm so happy you followed your dreams. And I was like, I am so glad you did not see the pitfalls in life that everyone else sees.
Yeah.
She was just like, do it. why wouldn't you? I think I want to be a shot girl. And I was like,
dream big.
She went to New York to be a model, and like she's attractive, but she's not like a model.
Yeah.
But I remember
not
her
a New York model.
And she just walked in and she's like, I want to be a model. And I was like, man, I wish everyone had more of that.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that girl to just give me blind confidence.
Yeah.
That I don't think. I mean, by the way, my first whole year of stand-up, I did not know. I was just doing all the jokes like Angry Sanchez, or I didn't have comedy. I wasn't doing comedy.
Yeah, you had little segments, but
yeah,
you know that's.
And then Will Smith discovers me, and I'm like, so glad I did this. And then you move to LA, you get a TV show, and then
that's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for not knowing about life.
And now you understand like the weird science behind comedy. The efficiency of words and all that.
Oh, yeah. I get blown away. I get blown away sometimes by just that, like those little coincidences in life that send you on a path, and then you go, God, what if I hadn't done that?
When I did stand up, I learned, and I did it for about 10, 11 years, and I really enjoyed it. But I knew it was actually radio that stepped in out of the blue and became a thing that I just loved because it allowed me to do comedy in a different way. But the refining and there's a joy in that with stand up and having things fail and having if you can have fun on stage regardless. Even if something's tanking and you're enjoying. Carson was an expert at having fun with tanking.
You got to be cool with the silence.
Right.
I went up one night in the store and I was just trying to write.
Yeah.
And I was bombing and then someone just goes. Talk about Anne Frank. in the audience. And then I go, I used to think Helen Keller and Anne Frank were the same person. Right. And it kills, right?
Yeah.
But I never knew. I didn't know that was funny. I thought I was an idiot. And then they laugh. And I was like, yeah, I found out the Anne Frank house. They're not. And everyone's like, what? I was like, yeah, you didn't. And I tell the story. And it's very simple. I thought, they were like, you want to go to the Anne Frank house? I was like, yeah, we'll get a bag of weed and get high and we'll laugh. And they're like, laugh? I go, yeah, put a plunger in her toilet, chuck it up. And they're like, what? And they're like, I don't think you can go to her bathroom. And they're like, you can see the closet they kept her. And I was like, they kept her in a closet?
Oh, dude.
I swear to God. And they're like, yeah, the Nazis are looking for her. I go, the Nazis are looking for her? You're telling me, I go, how many times did this chick roll snake eyes? Can't see, can't hear, can't talk, locked in the closet. Nazis are looking for her. And so I tell this on stage. I get off stage and Rogan's like, please tell me that's in your act. I go, no. I was like, dead serious. I go, I'm being dead serious. And he goes, that is the funniest thing. He goes, are you being serious right now? I go, I'm being dead serious. He goes, when did you find out they're not the same person? I go, at the Anne Frank house. We're high as crap. I'm telling Helen Keller jokes. And I'm like, she had a dog, right? And they're like, what? I was like, to my friends, I'm like, oh, he ran away. And they're like, how do you know so much about Anne Frank? I was like, well, you would too if her name was. And this lady goes, are you telling Helen Keller jokes? And I'm like, oh my God. So then I take that story, I tell it on Comedy Central with Ari Shaffir on This Is Not Happening, and then all of a sudden you got a bit. But if you're not willing to fail or get the clap, so if you have the clap right, I think what we're saying is, if you're listening and you have a venereal disease, this might be the best day of your life.
Look at it as a plus.
Success is just around the corner.
Success is just around the corner.
There's something you and your spouse you will never
don't discuss
ever agree on ever,
and that's not a hole in the relationship.
Right.
That's just smart. You just don't agree on some things. That's totally fine. If it's an agitation, there's an entire rest of your lives to live. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what, my wife and I don't
whether Hulk could beat Hulkbuster.
I don't think we'll ever agree on is which way the toilet paper goes on the roll.
Yeah.
And
or whether or not you should use it.
No. We both agree that you should use it, but I put toilet paper on the right way and she doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Top down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes over.
Does it matter? It does matter to you guys?
No,
You know what? Consider this.
No.
You're balling it up and jamming it in your butt.
It comes off of the toilet paper roll easier.
There
For
you
some
go.
perspective,
There you go.
Mr. Morrison.
Aesthetically.
By the way, did you guys see my notes in the bathroom this morning?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, is it still out of toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that
Dude, it
the
was
other
out
day.
of toilet paper yesterday.
Did you do that last week?
No.
Because
I did it this
someone
morning.
had the courtesy
Yeah.
to put up on the door.
Yeah.
Out of TP, so I went to another bathroom.
Can you fill me in here?
I saw that. So we were out of toilet paper, and
In the men's room?
In the men's room. So this morning I went in there and I did my business. It was a flashback to Casey when you caught me with my pants down in there.
Did you have to move stalls?
I did it. I moved over to the second stall, and Kathy was out in the second stall.
Did you have to use regular?
Fortunately, it wasn't so messy that I could pull my underwear
use your
up.
shirt.
And I walked in. I used my shirt.
You just sit there with a sink?
No, I got some paper
Ass
towels.
gaskets.
Paper towels.
You had to use paper towels?
Yeah, but
you wet them.
And if you follow MMR on Instagram, you'll get the Daily Rush video delivered right to your feed anytime we come out with them. Sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. You can learn more at xfinity.com, by the way. All right, giggity. Let's do Bizarre.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, here we go with some stories for you. We'll begin with, how about this one? Yeah, I had this a couple days ago. Didn't get a chance to get to it, but a grim New Year's trend continued in Japan as 2 women choked to death on traditional rice cakes, and 4 other people were hospitalized. The women who died were both in their 80s, and they choked on mochi. Which my daughter, she eats it all the time.
I've heard a lot of people dig mochi. I'm not sure I've ever had it.
It's kind of like an ice cream. It's a dessert. It's this rice cake that's filled, or at least I guess there are different versions, different types of mochi that you can get. But it's got this outer layer, Steve, that's kind of this gooey stuff. And it's a sticky, sweet, traditional delicacy served to celebrate on New Year. Or New Year's Eve. So it's so common that the Tokyo Police Department has a website offering tips on how to help someone who has the food lodged in their throat.
Well, that's not good.
I don't think you'd like it, Steve. It's kind of a little bit like fondant on
And
the
the
outside.
marzipan?
Yeah,
okay.
and I don't think it's your style. Like if you're going to go for ice cream or that kind of dessert, just go for ice cream.
Go for the friggin' ice cream.
Yeah.
Authorities annually warn people to cut the sticky rice cakes into smaller pieces to make them easier to chew, especially for the elderly and children. And people are also advised
my mochi.
to eat the treats slowly. Despite public warnings, the treats made of pounded steamed rice have caused suffocation deaths nearly every year, especially among elderly people.
Yay.
In 2015, 9 people were believed to have died taking part in the annual culinary tradition.
When you eat, what is the one food that you really wolf down?
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit.
It's like sesame noodles. I'll do that.
You just really-
I'm just like, yeah.
Sometimes pizza. I mean,
Pizza.
I'll just
Yeah,
tear
yeah.
through a slice because
I'm eating far too fast.
as much into it as my mouth as I can. But
Yeah.
mochi is a staple of the Japanese New Year's holiday menu, but the gluttonous cakes, grilled or cooked in broth or with sweet beans, can easily get stuck in people's throats, blocking breathing. And according to a 2020 letter in a medical journal, mochi accounts for up to 13.9% of foreign body airway obstruction cases in Japan. In Tokyo, 482 patients were hospitalized after choking on the rice cakes over a span of 5 years. And in 2001, a woman saved her father's life when she used a vacuum cleaner to pull mochi from the 70-year-old
I think you reported it. Yeah.
throat.
Right, yeah.
So maybe it was in 2001, but be careful. You're eating your mochi. A mother was left horrified and baffled after she discovered a bag of crystal meth in her kid's breakfast cereal. 25-year-old Hassam Nazir was giving Golden Morn cereal. This is in the UK, so it's like probably Golden Grams, but they call it Golden Morn.
Golden Morn cereal now with meth.
So to her 4 children, and when she found a bag of mysterious substance in a bag within the box, after trying to pour out the cereal to no avail, she reached in, pulled out the bag before a quick Google search revealed that she appeared to have found a bag of methamphetamine. Obviously, she was shocked at the discovery. She contacted police, who confirmed her worst fear.
There were supposed to be 2 bags.
Hassam had rushed her kids to the hospital to check if they had ingested any of the substance. Mercifully, they were discovered to be fine. And when the police investigated the box, They found that someone had cut a hole in the bottom, which they ascertained the bag was likely inserted.
What traditionally, I guess I've seen pictures of meth, but nothing is coming. Is it more look sort of like
cocaine? I guess.
Is it
like a powdery white substance?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. In Breaking Bad, it was blue, but
wasn't
it was like
crystal-like? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your
on what cereal you eat.
personal taste.
Say we've all seen different meths in our lives.
Yeah. Do you like it regular or al dente?
Right. Yeah. Extra crunchy.
The box of cereal was purchased from an international food store about 5 minutes from their house, and it was probably imported. All right, 4 beekeepers were detained after protesting in front of Chile's presidential palace in Santiago on Monday.
That's fun to say.
To local officials.
Bees!
With 7 police officers stung during the demonstrations. Yeah.
Bees! Bees in the car! Bees everywhere!
So,
they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
honey production has been...
ripping his flesh off.
Honey production has been hurt by a long-term drought in Chile that has withered the bees' food source, such as flowers and crops. While drought is not uncommon in Chile, the current mega drought has persisted since 2010, and climate change is at least partly to blame, scientists say. The beekeepers want government reform to improve honey prices or to provide subsidies for honey producers. And so the beekeepers set around 60 beehives, which contain an estimated 10,000 bees on the avenue in front of the palace. And some of those bees got out as the 7 national police officers
sting crazy.
were stung trying to arrest the beekeepers and move the beehives out of the street. Police officials said that they were taken to the hospital after the incident. All right, and then we'll do one more story and wrap it up. Let's end with this one. A Hartford man was charged with illegally fabricating a positive COVID-19 test result to avoid appearing before a Superior Court judge in November. Junior Jump is his name. He was arrested and charged with 1 count of forgery in the second degree and 1 count of fabricating physical evidence. Jump was out on bond following his arrest in connection with a number of criminal cases pending. On November 29th, Jump's defense counsel told the judge and state's attorney that he received a screenshot from Jump appearing to be a positive COVID-19 test notification.
Well, you might as well jump.
The judge in court. So now he's being held on $25,000
Yeah,
fine.
so it worked out.
Yeah. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, secret text word. Marissa, need a number caller. Who's it going to be?
Ooh, caller number 17.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. You need to know the secret text word in order to win. So if you have texted in and we sent that to you, you know, be caller number 17. You get a shot at winning the prize. We'll be back in just a moment. No.
What is that?
I got 2 pieces of paper towel, and I wrote no PTP.
Yeah.
And set it over the toilet paper dispenser.
Awesome. Because if you go in and you see that, and you don't want someone to replicate your horrible situation. Someone actually stuck a note on the door going in last week, and I appreciate them doing that.
Fortunately, everything was a clean movement this morning. It wasn't mushy.
It was like a good cellist, Preston, has a clean movement.
Yeah. So anyhow, not every argument has a resolution.
Exactly. Getting back to the core issue.
When you start to hit these sub-freezing temperatures, anything below 32 degrees, and then when you get down into teens and the freezing happens even faster, there's all kinds of things that you can do with the weather, believe it or not.
You can play with the weather.
You can play with the weather.
So one of the downside is, of course, the needless loss of life. The plus side is you can do stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided we'd try an experiment or two while we have these conditions.
So what's the boiling water thing?
It is very cool.
So here's what you do. And this is a few years ago. This little thing started to happen and pop up. If you take a pot of boiling water, when the temperature gets well below freezing, if you go outside, Kathy, and you throw it up in the air, it turns into snow. Like immediately.
But, okay.
Why boiling water and not cold water?
Yeah,
because it gets out. I guess because of the heat shift. Can we get our physicist back on the line?
I don't know.
Right?
I'm not sure. I didn't research it, to be honest, but there's a reason for it. So.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other day of a guy in Minnesota, and I think it was below zero where he was, and he had peed outside, and there was steam coming out.
Yes, that does happen.
Like just flat out.
In fact, maybe we'll have Nick take a dump and see what happens.
I don't know. Nick, you got one cooking?
Yeah, man. I'll do whatever you guys want.
Really?
Nick looks very uncomfortable. But Nick, should we just right out of the gate do the hot water?
I'm going to take the lid off. Max, you're going to toss it. Try not to toss it in my face. Okay.
No, wait, Nick. Before you do it, I would step away from Callie and step away a further. Step out to the lot.
Yeah, all right. So Max is going to throw it into the lot, but I'll take the lid off because Max has both hands on the pot itself, boiling water. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready, man.
Makes sense.
All right,
Watch the video. Nick is going to give the description.
2, 1. Here we go. Took the lid off. Max tosses it in there. Oh my God! Now, not all of it turned into into snow, but a decent amount of it did. Also, a decent amount immediately turned into steam.
And it's so windy that it went 50 yards away in the blink of an eye.
It was down the parking lot.
That was gone.
We did get instant snow, but the wind is whipping so much that by the time Nick was done talking, it was already half a parking lot away.
It was gone.
Two things also happened. Max's foot was burnt, and the pot of water is now empty.
Oh.
All right, so let's see Callie's hair now. I don't want her to weld to the.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they poured more water on it, Steve.
Well, we don't want her to freeze to the thing, right?
She's still not laying down.
At this point, I'll take it.
Well,
anything.
Yeah, I mean, her hair is frozen solid, guys.
All right.
It's not sticking up like we saw in some of those hot tub photos.
Yeah.
Where people, but I mean, like it's coated with hairspray and it is completely frozen solid.
All right, because she's got very thick hair, so to get that sucker to freeze up the way we want it to would be a lot of work. But you can see the tips; it looks like icicles.
Wow. Okay, so we've learned that water
freezes in
cold temperatures.
Yeah.
All right.
And that if someone's hair is wet with that same type of water, it will freeze in cold temperatures. Then we're looking at Callie here. I just don't want her to freeze to make sure she moves a little bit.
Yeah. We can. How long has she been out there? Anybody know?
She's going to look like Wendy O. Williams. What was that?
About 5 minutes.
The punk rocker?
Yeah. About 5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Can she move her head so we can see if it's frozen?
There we go.
Yeah. All right. We have frozen hair.
Yeah.
It's sticking straight out.
No, that's cool. We got it.
All right.
It actually looks like, what does that look? It looks like the when Maleficent turned the forest dead.
Yes. Oh, like all those branches.
The branches.
And stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like that. Bill calling us?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill's calling us.
Bill's not wearing gloves.
Hang on, let me go to him.
Did he come in on his motorcycle?
No, he is. He just took one glove.
Why does he have a chafing dish?
There's no way he came in on his motorcycle. Bill Weston, Man About Town, are you there?
Good morning, my warm southern friend.
Hey. So, first of all, what do you have in the crook of your arm there? Are those peppermints?
They're peppermints that my wife went to like Costco and got like the 30-gallon size.
Yeah.
Realized that she only needed a dozen for her candy dish. And she said, well, why don't you take the rest into work? I said, that's really economically wise.
All right, fair enough. And so what did you want to, you wanted to jump in on this frozen hair thing, I guess, huh?
Well, first I see an intern out here freezing her tail off and with no hat on.
Yeah.
You know, your mother always said, don't leave the house without your hat and gloves.
Yeah.
And zip up your coat. And so I said, I hope you get extra credit for your internship program for this. She says, no, there's no credit for this. So, Marissa, we need to have a little chat.
Well, Bill, can you just actually go over and just have her raise her head? Because I think her hair's probably properly frozen now.
Yeah, let's check on the hair.
Hold on just a second.
All right.
All right.
We just don't want her to freeze to this building.
Oh, yes. We've got some nice...
All right, that's cool.
That's it.
She's good.
It's frozen solid.
Have her come in.
And it's rigid. It's sticking straight out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Bill, how long are your pubes?
Oh, Jesus.
That's my second question. When Casey asked if they were gray.
Casey asked if they were gray.
Hey, Bill, you can tell her to come in, Bill.
Yeah, you guys can come in. We want to see this.
Hold on, Marissa has something. Marissa?
Just want to say this is Callie's last week, so this is like her last
There you go. We love Callie.
Yeah.
go.
All right.
Don't want to get me in trouble.
All right, Bill, you and Callie can come inside. A Volvo that was owned by David Bowie was auctioned off for approximately $218,000 in Switzerland. His Volvo 262C was one of the last of that line produced in 1981, and it was delivered to his Swiss home in June of that year. The car was initially registered under Bowie's own name, David Robert Jones, before transferring over to the record company Bellway Brothers.
This is the beginning of Philly Loves Bowie Week is today.
Didn't he do a commercial for the Chili Dogs place?
No, that was Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah. Pat's Chili Dogs.
Chili Dogs.
Ground control to chili dogs. Hi, I'm David Bowie with a passionate message about any fan who loves a good chili dog.
How'd you get Bowie to do this?
Well, he was in town.
Well, look who it is.
Yeah, hi. Bing, I'm here to tell you about the best chili dog I've ever had.
Sounds great. Do tell.
It's Pat's Chili Dogs.
How did they get him in the first place?
If you like a chili dog, ba-rum-bum-bum-bum.
Where is it?
I don't know. But anyhow, he definitely
Do you like a good chili dog?
he definitely owned a Volvo, and that's.
Oh no, I've got chili all over my Volvo.
Pat's Chili Dogs is a We Buy Gold place now.
Oh, is that what it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyhow, David Bowie.
Do you have extra gold you'd like to make some money off of?
All right, and then finally, what?
What?
Oh, there you go.
I'm David Bowie. I just had an otherworldly experience. As Major Tom, I took you into space, but now it's time to explore your belly.
Okay.
Introducing my new character, Ziggy Chili Dog.
Did he have Diamond Dogs?
Chili Dogs.
Was that what his album was? Diamond Dogs?
Was it?
This new one's called Chili Dogs.
How bizarre would it be just out of nowhere?
He just becomes enamored of chili dogs.
That he is all of a sudden he is a proponent of the of chili dogs. Oh, this is Diamond Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond Dogs.
Yeah. Did you guys hear the news that Khloe Kardashian is pregnant? You may have heard that, right?
Yeah. She was on Ellen, right?
She made the announcement, of course, a little while back. She may be head over heels in love with her boyfriend, NBA star Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, head over heels.
But the revenge body star has no desire to get hitched anytime soon. She told Ellen DeGeneres in the first TV interview since announcing the pregnancy that we're not in any rush for that.
We're in no rush to get married.
She added, as you know, I've rushed quite a few things before.
And I've made some mistakes, and I regret those mistakes.
Referencing her marriage to Lamar Odom after knowing him for 30 days. I forgot that's how quickly that happened, yeah.
It was just 30 days.
Oh, my God. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
She does look like a
It looks
giant.
it looks like a scene from Pacific Rim.
And
She's a
listen,
kaiju.
not fat.
No.
She's just a tall person.
I love you, Ellen.
Do they have her stats on Wiki, like how tall she is?
6'9".
So, Nick, type in how tall is...
I think she's 5'11".
But like, even in their
Khloe
family
Kardashian.
pictures, I don't think she's towering over the rest of them.
No, she's bigger.
I don't know how tall...
It's because OJ's her father.
Ellen is either.
She's 5'10".
5'10".
There we
That
go.
would make Ellen like 3'11.
Yeah, because that's how tall my wife is. She's 5'10".
Yeah, that's not like
5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that range.
bare range.
But I think the other ones are just, everybody else is just tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah. So anyhow, as you know, she said I rushed into quite a few things before. Right now, I'm so loving the place I'm in and very happy with how things are. We talk about it for sure. What's meant to be will be.
I just love spending time now foraging through garbage cans. It's really a zen thing for me. Ellen.
Kardashian adds that she knows her 26-year-old beau is a good dad after watching him parent his 1-year-old son, Prince, in a previous relationship.
Okay. That's the tip-off.
She said, he's such a good dad. He's so great just during pregnancy, and he makes me more excited, too. I'm excited. That's unbelievable that he has just a 1-year-old and has moved on.
He's a great dad.
He's fathering another one
great
over
dad.
here. And
Did he bring Chloe to the birth, Preston? Did she say that?
That's a good question.
Exemplary
To the first
dad?
baby? Yeah.
Sweetie, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend.
How long is her gestation period? Do we know?
I don't know because
It's 2 years.
There's a hibernation thing, right?
You guys are mean.
The one thing is that the baby can immediately forage for itself when it comes out.
There is a picture here of the 4 girls, and she is significantly taller.
Significantly.
I'm a little bigger.
And you know they're wearing heels. Sorry, we got to do that first. All right, so lesson question today. Pick a different one. One that we've never done before.
Oh, yeah?
Which is this. What was the answer to the stupid question this morning? How about that? Not even asking the stupid question. I just want to know what the answer, and I gave it a couple of times.
Yes, you did.
To that was 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer, and we'll do the trash while you call in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's get into those stories. Steve's, what is happening this morning?
Well, Dr. Dre's ex-wife, Nicole Young, will receive a $100 million settlement as part of their divorce. Nicole, who originally asked for $400 million, believes she can stretch that $100 million through aggressive coupon clipping. Hey! After 10 years, this blows my mind. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver are finally legally single again after a judge signed off on their divorce. Shriver originally filed for that divorce after Arnold admitted to helping their maid by waxing her ass.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And finally, a neighbor of Kim Kardashian named Sarah Key has filed an injunction to stop her from building an extra wide driveway. Key says Kim would not need all that space if she would just walk up the driveway sideways. That's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's look for that answer. What was the answer to the stupid question this morning? Is our question 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to Andy for the answer. Andy, you are on the air. Good morning. Andy, what was the answer to the stupid question this morning?
Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
And you actually gave it right before you.
Yeah, I went to the caller and I said, hey, Janine, what's the Sweden? Instead of what's the answer.
What's the Sweden?
Andy got it right, and we are going to give him a 4-pack of tickets from Fandango to see the Universal action spy thriller, The 355. 5 rival agents, 1 elite team. From the studio that brought you Jason Bourne, Universal Pictures presents Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, Bing Bing Fan, Diane Kruger, and Lupita Nyong'o. The 355 is rated PG-13 and in theaters on January 7th. And real quick, there was a text. Where would that one, Nick, go?
I don't think we've ever gotten a text like this before, yeah.
We were playing the Queen song,
Yes.
and this text says, couldn't request a better song than Bohemian Rhapsody while cutting the guts out of a deer. Love you guys for reading my mind. So there you go. What are you doing while you listen to the show? We should do that as a segment sometime. All right, let's get to music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, we'll start with Rage Against the Machine. Tom Morello. Actually, it's
John
not.
Stamos.
It's just Tom Morello, not Rage Against the Machine. So anyhow, Tom Morello is fortunate enough to have his own home recording studio, but he doesn't know how to operate it. He recently told Guitar World, for the first 4 months or so of the pandemic, I was absolutely adrift. He said, I have a really nice studio in my house, but I don't know how to work it. Like, I don't know how to move any of the buttons around. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to play shows. I'm not going to be able to record music. But despite his lack of studio knowledge, he managed to release 2 solo projects during the pandemic, the Atlas Underground Fire and the Atlas Underground Flood, in addition to an EP with Bloody Beat Roots. But he said he figured out how to get around the studio issue by taking a cue from Kanye West. He said, I was reading an interview where Kanye West said he recorded the vocals of a couple of his big hit records using the voice memo on his phone, so I did that. I set up my phone on a little folding chair, my laptop's open so I can have, like BPMs in my ears or whatever, and the phone is balanced on the edge of the laptop on a chair facing the amp.
Wow.
I can't believe he's that inept when it comes to that, because
he's a Harvard graduate.
Well, and he's very effect heavy in his guitar sound. He uses all kinds of equipment to get sounds.
Yeah, even now, especially with the nature of recording equipment, equipment. I mean, I could record an album in our office right now.
We talk about this, Nick Murphy and I, all the time, because in our studio here, our engineers want to get like the top of the line stuff with all the different effects, and we're like, we can just go to Best Buy and like get something that like connects these two things for $100.
So he's probably got the creme de la creme when it comes to equipment. But listen, there's also YouTube. You can jump on there and probably figure out how to run your equipment if you really wanted to. Morello and Rage Against the Machine are hoping to finally kick off their twice postponed reunion tour this year with a current launch date in March. The lawsuit filed last year by Spencer Eldon, the naked baby featured on the cover of Nirvana's 1991 album Nevermind, has been dismissed by a judge after Eldon and his attorneys failed to, quote, respond to a motion to toss the entire thing filed by the defendants, a deadline of which had been set on December 30th.
I also think it was a thin lawsuit. To say that he was catching whatever went down during the original signing or the agreement with his picture as a baby, to say that it's impacted his life as an adult is kind of hard to believe.
You can kind of keep that quiet if you wanted to.
You wouldn't walk into a room and go, wait, is that the baby?
Right. Eldon sued the band as well as Kurt Cobain's estate for child sexual exploitation because he couldn't consent to his image being used on the album's art since he was only 4 months old at the time.
Dude, anyone ever tell you look like the baby on the Nirvana cover?
He also said that his legal guardians didn't consent to it either, though. So Eldon also claimed that the image is child pornography, adding that the band made a promise to cover his genitals with a sticker, but it was never incorporated on the album, which has caused him to suffer lifelong damages. He was asking for at least $150,000, which really, in the big scheme of things, doesn't seem like that much. He has now until January 13th to submit an amended complaint if he wants to proceed. So if he's really serious about it,
I know,
he's still not completely out of the game. All right. I got sent this by a lot of people. Yes, I am aware of it. And yes, I want one. I just don't have room at my house. Rush has partnered with Stern Pinball for a series of new pinball machines available in Pro Premium and limited edition models. Stern Chairman and CEO Gary Stern said in a statement, partnering with Rush, we created a musical pinball experience that every fan will want to explore. Incredible music, memorable toys, unique mechanical pinball action, and custom speech will make players feel like they are on tour with the band. And in memory of Neil Peart, we have also decided to support the Neil Peart Research Award sponsorship by the Glioblastoma Foundation as it researches cures for this deadly brain cancer, which, of course, took his life.
It looks awesome. It really does. They did a lot of cool stuff on this. There's obviously, you well imagine all sorts of Rush references. Do you know... did they give the price? I'm sorry, Preston, you might have mentioned it.
No, usually I think their pinball machines can be in that $5,000 to $6,000 range. Now that's just me guessing out loud. I have no idea. It might be even more than that. Actually, wait, here you go. Yeah, the suggested retail price is just under $7,000. So the pinball machines will be unveiled virtually in Las Vegas starting today. Somebody had emailed me about it and said that there's a place in Malvern that is going to have one, that they've ordered one. Let me see if I might still have the email. And it is the Pinball Gallery in Malvern will have one by the end of the month. So he said, following an announcement like this, Stern usually starts shipping in a couple of weeks. That is from Craig Powell.
Is that a store, or is it just literally a place you can go play it?
I assume it's a place you can go and play. Usually pinball places that display those will allow you to play them. But you know what? I'll have to look into that. But, man, I really want one. And I love pinball. I can play for hours. I love that game.
There's nowhere you can put it. Not one place.
I mean, maybe, but no place that makes a lot of sense. Where?
In Shore House.
No, I don't think it would.
Right in the master bedroom, right at the foot of the bed.
I don't think it would fit there. But
no? Okay, I haven't seen the place.
I mean, pinball machines are big. They take up a lot of real estate.
Could you put it where Casey's pool would have gone?
We could do that.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Well, and you always find those people that like try to squeeze it in and put it too close to the wall, and then you can't.
Then you can't move the machine around,
Yeah,
which you need to. You got, without tilting, of course. But so anyhow, they said that in the. The press release, the Rush Pinball Concert Under Glass, features 16 iconic songs accentuated by sound and lighting effects. Songs include Headlong Flight, Far Cry, One Little Victory, Working Man, 2112, Tom Sawyer, The Spirit of Radio, Free Will, Cygnus X1 Book 1, The Voyage and Book 2 Hemispheres, The Big Money, Subdivisions, Limelight, Fly By Night, La Via Strangiato, Bastille Day, and Red Barchetta as well.
So we're looking at this place, Preston. It's
Yeah, I need to go there. The Malvern.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
There's tons of pinball machines, and it looks like it's got other games as well.
And sometimes places like that you can rent out.
Yeah.
For parties. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to go there.
I know where we can put it.
Where?
Right behind me.
Oh, yeah. We can. I didn't even think about that.
The concert carpet.
Studio.
Yeah.
Now that we have an actual concert performance facility right here down the hall.
Yeah.
The concert carpet is no longer needed.
Yeah.
Pinball machine right there.
Got a plug back there and everything.
All right. Well, one last story. Wolfgang Van Halen literally learned Tremonti's set list during a single night of cramming before hitting the road with the band. Back in July 2012, Wolfgang jumped in cold to replace then bassist Brian Marshall and stayed on to play bass on the band's 2015 album Cauterize and his 2016 follow-up Dust. While chatting in an interview, Wolfgang recalled getting to join Tremonti. He said it happened to have been in New Jersey with my friend Seven Dust where they were recording, and I was just hanging out with them. And then I happened to have some of my bass equipment with me because we were jamming. And late one night, I got a call from Mark Tremonti. He's like, hey, man, I heard that you were in town. We need a bass player. Do you think you can come by? Sure enough, loaded my stuff in a pickup, got there 45 minutes later in New York, learned the whole set, and we started touring the next day.
That's almost impossible.
Yep, that's a lot of work. After a hectic year releasing Mammoth WVH's debut set, spate of band dates, not to mention a major opening spot with Guns N' Roses through the summer, Wolfgang is cooling his heels. When asked about a typical day off, he said, just being lazy on the couch with my girlfriend, watching TV shows, or playing video games and going to bed early. I'm a big nerd, and I always play video games. If I'm not making music or on tour, Frank and I, their guitar player, would bring our system around hotel to hotel room so that we could play. So
Is his girlfriend some sort of model or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I think she is.
And there you go. That's what I have in music news for you. We got one more break to take. We're going to do that now. Come back in a second. Letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize and the triumphant return of one Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
When she gets into her laughing fits, man,
she's so
watch
Can't
out.
stop. It's a runaway train. Her gynecologist actually zip lines in. It's crazy.
Okay, everything looks pretty good. Is that a stalagmite? What is that? Oh my God. One-eyed Willie.
Chester Copperpot.
There's an entire pirate ship in here. Hey, you remember when we fought that octopus? Oh, that was in the edited scene.
Yeah, they took that out of the movie.
By the way,
The Gooeys instead of the Goonies.
she's really pretty.
She has.
She's yes.
She doesn't look anything like she used to look. My assistant. Come on over here, man.
Hey,
look
Sloth,
at
come
this.
here.
Look at this. Navajo cave etchings.
Then when they have to do the look around the back end.
Goonies taking place inside Khloe Kardashian.
Quickly, hide in the fallopian tubes. I'll use my chattering teeth to pull us up.
Oh, God. All right. So anyhow,
Okay.
they'll name the boy, if it's a boy, Tristan Jr.
Okay, cute.
Just to let you know. Here's another bit of trivia for National Trivia Day. Long before rap battles, there was flighting, the exchange of witty, insulting verses. The verbal throwdowns were popular in England and Scotland from the 5th to 16th centuries. So it was kind of like, your mama jokes, I guess,
Yeah.
going back and forth. But back in the 5th to 16th
Your mater
centuries.
gives handies to the house staff.
Your mater.
Your mater. Your mater inhales snuff through her buttocks.
Burn.
Got you.
Dude, you know what that made me think of? Is we talked about knock jokes being a big thing in the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
And you were FDR.
He was trying to
doing a knock. Who was that? Your mother manually stimulates migrant workers. Oh my God! Yeah, so they were. It was called flight hating.
Yeah, flighting.
And they would jab, do little jabs at each other.
Your mater is so corpulent, when she sits around the house, the spire sticks in her rectum. Snap.
Oh, snap.
Snap.
Oh my God! All right, so that's what they used to do apparently. So that's been going on for a long time.
I think we talked about this one time, the history of humor and what makes us want to laugh and makes us want to make others laugh, and it goes back. A lot of times, the basis of everything is in insults.
I felt like an idiot yesterday because my 8-year-old daughter got me with a little bit of a joke.
Did she?
Yeah, can I get you with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, righty. Steve, would you remember me in an hour?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a day?
Yes.
Steve, would you remember me in a month?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I thought you said you would remember. Snap! I was like, how did I fall for that?
My daughter got me one yesterday too, which was what do you call a suspicious noodle?
What?
An impasta.
I was like, spaghetti?
All right.
It's like beef stroganoff.
Yeah. A herd of jerking cattle.
Beef stroganoff. Or did you hear about the peanut walking through the park? It was assaulted. I mean, they're so stupid.
I know, and they're great.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know how to verbalize the feeling that I have inside when I see like lame Eagles chants and people making up their own lame Eagles fight songs and lame quote unquote pep rallies.
As you were,
like forced pep rallies.
Forced pep rallies.
Forced
Okay.
pep rallies. All right, here's one. Yeah, and these I love the outfit and I love the zeal.
Can you
for
describe it, please, for
all right,
those who are listening to the radio?
So it is an older couple. Married couple that has made up, and they're dancing. They're wearing Eagles gear. She's got a cool little Eagles tinsel wig on, and Steve,
Yeah.
I know you love
I'm
tinsel.
a huge fan of tinsel.
Right.
And they're making up their own Eagles song.
So you hate this elderly couple because they've made up their own Eagles song?
I think it's a lame song.
So what? They're having fun.
You know what? And you're right. They are having fun.
Here, Marissa, pull the audio. She heard us talking about this in the break, so she pulled up the audio. I haven't heard this. I've just seen this video footage that we're watching right now. So here we go. This is them, and their Casey says lame Eagles fight song.
Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up. Fly all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Eagles, do your thing. We need a Super Bowl ring. Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Yeah.
Fly all the way up.
Get behind this, right?
Fly all the way up.
I agree with you, Kathy. Yes, they're having fun.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
I love it. I love the genuine zeal, the energy. What you don't know is that this woman is an Army veteran
who
donates her time on the... No, I don't know what the story is. They're having a great time.
Yes.
I was trying to run a CSI diagnosis or analysis of, I think, what... These are clearly long-time Eagles fans.
They're really happy.
Really entrenched in it. Are you more pissed off about what you perceive to be bandwagon jumpers? Okay, then I'm at a loss.
I just don't. Why do you have to make this a lame song? We have a good song.
But they're not.
They're having fun. They're a couple. They're having
And you know what, Kathy? I'm with you. I am
Listen, they're
totally
not out performing it somewhere.
Fly all the way up. Well, yes, they are.
They're
And
in
now,
their
now it's
house.
on my Twitter feed.
Let me
I have
ask
no
you
control.
something. In defense, and Kathy, I know you're going to back me up on this. What do eagles do?
They fly all the way up.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then they also swoop down and
Wait, I love his participation. Where there's like one time where
It was their second album. I'm sorry. What are you doing over here?
But it's got moving in stereo into All Mixed Up as the end of the record on the B-side, and they flow so perfectly into each other. It's a great record, beginning to end.
10:25 as we are wrapping up today's program, and I would like to thank our lone guest this morning, Mr. Damian Priest. WWE, as you pointed out, Steve, like every single person we've met from that organization is always a great conversation.
Whatever they do, however, Triple H and Vince McMahon and all those guys and his daughter, set that system up and curate them and do what they do. That's a formula that is working.
Yep, they get good people working for them. So it was good to have him on, and they are WWE. Monday Night Raw is happening at the Wells Fargo Center on Monday, and tickets available at wellsfargocenterphilly.com should you be inclined to go. He is here. He has arrived. Back from a few days off. Ladies and gentlemen, Pierre Robert.
Hi. Don Rickles music.
Dun 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 dun.
No,
we don't.
Sorry, I don't have it.
We need to.
We have this.
That's it.
Oh, that is it.
Yeah, I was messing around.
Nice. There's your music.
Like Hail to the Chief.
Yes.
He played Every Time I Enter or God Save the Queen. I don't know.
God Save the Queen.
Both Rickles and the Queen enter to the same.
Exactly, they do. They do.
Did you meet Don Rickles? Did you have an interview with him?
I interviewed him, met him twice, was in the backstage room with him in Atlantic City.
He called you out on stage.
He did.
Yeah.
And
Did he call you a hockey puck?
He did, well, not on stage.
Okay.
But he did in my interview for the ID. I said, "Would you say, Pierre, you're a hockey puck?" And he said it. It was
you know what? Here,
priceless.
That's what this is.
Wait, we have it?
Preston and Steve
God,
on
God.
93.3
Sorry, I didn't wait for it to load before
Right. It's okay.
It's okay, Casey.
We're going to try this again?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Hang on, Pierre.
Hi, this is Don Rickles. You're listening to WMMR, the rock and roll station, with my friend Pierre Robert. Pierre, you're a hockey puck, and to tell you the truth, I never liked you.
Never liked you.
What's the hockey puck reference?
That's a classic.
It was a classic
his
put
insult.
down. He would just say to people, Marissa, you're a hockey puck.
Yeah, hockey puck.
He would just say that to people. And I'm sitting in the room with him, and he's got this robe on and slippers, and he hadn't put his pants on yet because the old entertainers would not put their pants on
Till
as
last
to
minute.
not wrinkle them.
Yep.
And he didn't have his jacket on for the same reason. And then I said, "Man, you killed it on Letterman the other night." And he goes, "Did you hear that, fellas? I killed it on Letterman." And makes a graphic gesture as to him getting enlarged.
Oh my God.
And then he said, "This is somebody on the couch," and it was Sinatra's manager on the couch.
Oh wow!
And two other heavyweights, and then agents. He says, "Don't look at them; they're just agents." But this was Frank's manager, my manager, and I'm going, "Holy blank! I'm in the presence of greatness." I said, "Could I take a picture?" $25.
$25. I'd pay that.
Yeah, well, I would have paid $50.
Yeah,
I
God,
would have paid
yeah.
$100. But and then I took it back the next year, and he signed it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
excellent.
Cool.
Well, and that gave us this, your grand entrance, and now to bring forth the letter of the day. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
S as in Sacre Bleu.
Sacre Bleu. We have a 6-pack of tickets to give away for the MM and it will be Saturday, May 21st, PB&T Pavilion. Of course, opening day of the summer concert season with Disturbed, Pretty Reckless, Royal Blood, Living Color, Locani, Crobot, Lil Azar, and Jackson's Local Shots artist Huxley. Tickets start just $25 while supplies last. On sale now, Ticketmaster.com. Complete details, WMMR.com, including a look back at every WMMR barbecue ever. Backstage interviews, band photos, the whole thing is right there.
That's pretty amazing.
Want to check that out? Did you enjoy your time off?
Well, no, not really. I got the vid.
You got the COVID. I didn't know if you wanted to.
No, I'm happy to talk about
touch
it.
on that or not.
Greg Monahan, Grinning Greg, he said, he wrote me, he texted me, he goes, dude, I heard you got the vid.
The vid?
Which I guess is what the kids call it. You got the vid. Although Greg's not.
Or the Rona.
I was going to say he's a kid.
It's the vid or the Rona.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
The Rona.
That or the Rona. Yeah. I mean, we're all here, double vaxxed and boosted. And people say, well, see, it didn't get you from getting it, but it actually kept me from getting any severe effects of it.
Right.
It was just like a cold.
And that's wonderful. I'm glad that was the case.
Yeah, it was, nasal, a little bit of cough, and I tested negative yesterday.
Good for you.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
But
gave you the chance to build that book case you've been working on.
Well, yeah, I built the book. I sat in my filth.
That's the one good thing of a cold or like a flu or like this is that when there are those moments where it's rare. Like I always say, if you're going on a vacation, when the door closes on the plane, then I have no option now.
Right.
It's like when you're in the middle of something like this, it's like, I'm gonna just leave it on Judge Judy all day. You can just be a horrible. You have an excuse to just be sedentary and not do a goddamn thing.
Right. I read 4 books.
Oh.
That was cool. I finished Dune, which was not an easy task. And the new Michael or John Grisham book, and two others. But it's. So the idea of getting the vax is good only because, well, for many reasons, but because if you do get it, it makes the effects much less serious.
Excellent.
And you don't have to go to the hospital. So.
Yeah, love that.
And I was, it was good.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you back,
Other
man.
than that,
We
it's
missed
good.
you.
Other than wallowing in your filth.
Other than that,
You look very
time
clean
off.
now.
Play.
Yeah, you look really good.
You must have cleaned up from the filth.
Well, I did clean up from the filth, but my house is a wreck. It's just like strewn with things everywhere.
Smell bad too?
No, not
Okay,
well.
good.
I couldn't smell for a while. So
Right. Oh.
I did lose a touch of the smell.
What about
when
taste?
you get the vid and the Rona? And the Rona, as we like to say.
Rona.
The Rona. No, I didn't have any problem with taste.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and had no fever, no irregular heartbeat, no.
Were you able to make, as they say?
I don't know what that means, but I didn't have any syphilis either.
Okay, no syphilis.
Oh yeah, everything was coming and going just fine.
Good, good.
So yeah, it was a lovely time, with the exception of that. But I got through my little 10 days, and then I actually went downtown and watched the Mummers Parade on Sunday. That was my 11th day. So I said, "Am I clear for this?" And my doctor, who's an infectious disease guy at Penn, said, "You're not infectious after 10 days." And, some CDC says actually 5 days with some specifics. But so I went down and watched the parade.
Well, good. You stayed on the safe side. That's excellent.
And I coughed and vomited on people. It was excellent.
Vomited. Nice.
Yeah.
You're Pierre.
Excuse me, citizen. I need to relieve myself of some ingestions that I had earlier.
Oh. Well, you have 2 more days to enjoy all the Christmas decorations before they come down.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because you missed that.
Marissa made a lovely explosion of the Christmas video, and she came back to have me do it again. And so it was like Thursday the 23rd, and I was coughing. I had a cold, so you can have a cold but not have COVID. But then I went to a Christmas party about 5 days before, and I think that's where I got it. And then the cold got worse and worse and worse and worse. And then before I turned you guys on, the TV was on for a moment, and some doctor said, "If you're sniffling and hacking, you should not go into work." I said, "I have 1 test left," because I'd been hoarding tests prior to them going out of fashion. And I took the test, instant positive. I go, "Oh dear," and it was 9:30, and I'm of course supposed to be here an hour later. So Sarah filled in, and then I didn't get to do the Christmas show, but that's why. Okay.
We're looking at the video. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's cute. Nice. What's up on the show today, dude?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
On that, well, wait a minute. Let me check my BlackBerry. That was a hipster joke. Huh? Hey.
Wow.
Who is your hip guy?
Who is
for
this
current affairs, huh?
It's so hip that today is the first day that it doesn't work.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm checking my berries that are black. Now, on the BlackBerry, it says to me, AC/DC Live and David Bowie.
Excellent.
Rock on, you bastards.
It shall be an enjoyable day, had by all. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show. Also, Acme. And you can download the Acme app to see your all-new deals, rewards, and perks today. Visit acmemarkets.com for details. And also Jurassic Quest. That's coming to Philadelphia January 15th to the 23rd. You can get tickets at JurassicQuest.com. That is it. We are done. Rage on. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.